This IPO is huge notionally. It is going to have a lot of volatility, probably more from a dollar sense. It's just priced so high. It is very likely to move in a way that you haven't seen if you haven't traded these before. If you remember way back when, a few years ago, trading like Snowflake on the IPO, or way back to Rivian, expect a little bit of that, I would suspect. If you have not, this one can be wild. So buckle up, it'll be a wild one. I don't think it opens up till after we've eaten lunch, but either way, it's certainly gonna open with the gentleman to my left. So you will have the pleasure of Joey Options and Sharif the Professor giving you that Cerebras IPO open whenever it does happen. All eyes on that. All eyes on all-time highs for the market as well. We'll see you back at 2, or I'll see you back at the lesson. Although sometimes, you know what, we'll see. Because sometimes I don't like, if it looks like it could be opening up soon, I don't want to be distracted. I hate to be selfish on that one, but either way, we'll be back at 2 o'clock. Good luck on Cerebras if you're taking it, and if you're not, maybe you learned something watching it. See you back at 2.
Music's good. I like. Boom. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday show. That's your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And on my screen, Assassino, is Cerebras. We are waiting for the IPO that's showing a top of $325. Get it, Neil. We'll be keeping you guys apprised.
Oh, you put your order in already?
No.
Oh.
I messaged Neil to find out kind of a little bit of what his trade plan was, because I don't want to go into this blind. But here we are. We're going to keep a very, very close eye on this one. We're going to do the shout out in a second. I do apologize to everybody, so keep throwing in your names. We just want to have a quick look here at the paired volume. CBRS, the number 1 right there, currently with a sell side imbalance of about 5,000 shares. Much, much anticipated IPO, of course. Let's say hello to everybody. Elevators make me fart. Shout out to my man in the chat. Brett Green, we got the OG Benton, keeping it simple for me, hit the bang, absolutely, Bovin. Shout out to my man Taylor, upright, what is that? Upright double bass? Sure, Mike PD Ryder, Grunfeld, Mr. Kevin, Los Polos Hermanos, we got Dewey 001. Shout out to Great Gamecraft, Nico, and other Zinc, the OG Hangry Wife also is with us as well. Customer, ATH, Ash. We got Jacob Savage, Trade Sniper TV, and Carlos Verdino, Random Bratley, and Ozan. Hit the move for me. It's on the Katina Man stream deck, Ozan. That would require me getting up. You Guy 33 and Oh Ya Pinoy. Shout out to him, Hinsey, Kirk D. Any new names, manifest codes now. And one more, Joey. Toe Cutter 2026. Because the toe cutter technology of 2025 is just too outdated.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm assuming a toe cutter, Joey. Let's have a look at some of the small cap gappers that are making a move right now. QUCY was the best looking one in the market with a 397 high. It's coming back down now as a whole bunch of lower highs into $3. We're going to see if this one can set up a little bit better because it's not looking great right now. Nor is MobX, which is also putting in a symphony of lower highs, but this one seems a bit more consolidative between the volume-weighted average price and essentially that 350 area high. So we're going to keep a close eye here on MOBX. We want to see if it changes trend, especially with that more prolonged consolidation. But there goes SNAL. This one is ripping in $1.56. It is now officially halted up. This one didn't actually make it onto my side charts initially because, well, it was trading below the volume-weighted average price. It looked like it was going to break down. But here we are, just a skosh below that 159er high. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on SNAL as it is now halted up. There's been a lot of halters today, some of which have already lost their spot on the side chart because they've broken down. Case in point, YOOV. It is now negative since the bell has rung, so we'll get to that one in a moment. DXF as well has been quite strong. This one really started ripping towards, I want to say in the aftermarket essentially. Not quite where we were yesterday. And if I really had to do a bit more of a thorough TA take here, this one is continuing to put in lower highs. I'm not really liking the look of this one's jib, despite the fact that it is still up a respectable 109% on the day. Double top into 168, 169. We'll have to see if this can take out the pre-market high, but it certainly hasn't even tested the aftermarket highs from yesterday. A bit of a slower mover here, guys. LESL. It is a bit of a wider spread as I see it. Currently 1 penny, not bad. Easy to short on my platform. 183,000 shares available to take the other side, but it has been stair-stepping up. As you can see, made that 260 high, dropped pretty aggressively down into that 2.25, but there was support there from the initial resistance area. And now we're trying to recover back into that 2/3 of a dollar. It is up a very respectable 77 2/3%. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. But Poet as well, Joey. I know you guys were talking about this one in the morning. I have a bunch of failed attempts, I should say, of a breakthrough 20. Multiple topping tail candles that do breach that $20 area. Neither of which was able to close above, and now it is kind of straddling the volume weighted average price. So, well, this one will have to set up a little bit better. So right now, to be honest with you, the best lookers in the market in the world of small cap gappers, SNAL, DXF, which just continuing to rip into day's high. Let's see if it can take out that 180, 190 area. And then LESL and PCT as well, but a bit more of expensive of a name. RDW is not a small cap gapper in the strict sense, but this one has all sorts of commercials on TV. It's pretty much respecting the 10 EMA on the 5 all day. So if you want to try to ride that trend until it fails, that's another possibility there, but not really, my favorite setup of the bunch, Joey.
Good stuff, man. All right, guys, we're in some Tesla. You guys know that. You can see we're short some Bitcoin here if it breaks that top, but I'm looking to take some out relatively quick here, folks, as it's started to cook up for us. IBIT with a nice inverted hammer candle. Gorv, did you see that one? We're going to take some off here. We didn't put too crazy of size, but we just want to lock this in just in case the pullback does get slightly aggressive. But there it goes, a nice 1-to-1. Yes, sir, Sharif, yo.
Sir, man.
Bang, we take that on. Pew, 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 on IBIT. We'll wait for an additional leg off. We'll remove another 33%. And sure enough, there it is. We get it as it's now printing 81. So a nice little move to the downside on IBIT. We're patient enough to wait for it. I'm going to pull up momentarily exactly what I'm going short off of. Gorv, Lost, I haven't seen you in the chat here today, and everyone else, all my VPA traders. There it is, a nice inverted off of that high. We play the break of it, and then we get a nice little move. How deep this pullback is going to be is a different question. If it's really strong, it finds a base, and if it starts to bounce, we got to get out of Dodge. But you guys see not too long ago, we're in this Tesla trade off of the lows. We're now in IBIT short off of the highs, and then sure enough, we're looking at NVDA as it continuously prints. But you know what the name of the game is here today.
What is it, man?
Everyone. It is that IPO without any form of questioning, Sharif. Cerebras or Cerebras, whatever you guys would like to call it. Tomato.
Yeah, I've heard both.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, other than that, it's going to be...
CEO calls it.
Yeah, it's whatever the CEO calls it, man. It's whatever the CEO, the guy who's behind all of the logistics of everything, that is the individual. All right, there goes TSLL as it's continuing to climb. This one's really starting to work out for us, guys. Let's take a little bit more off here. Nothing substantial as we print. And we would like an additional leg lower here on IBIT. Let's see if we're fortunate enough to get that. We did take half off. We're ready and prepared to take an additional 33% off. But I want to bring this up is the options chain on NVDA as we are getting closer and closer as we inch closer to the earnings report. Signs of strength leading into it. I really like this. To me, that's telling me that somebody knows something. What do they know? We have no idea. But we were talking about on NVDA that 235 marker and that being a potential target and where the next high level of supply was going to be. Well, yeah, okay, that's starting to grow now. It's grown a little bit, but nothing substantial, nothing to be too worried about here. 83,000, that's doubled in the past couple of days from when we were referring it. So now we've bounced off of 235.95. This is fishy stuff right here, guys. Let's keep an eye out on 235, potentially here on NVDA. Let's go a little bit further out, as we typically do, but no size. This is going to be expiring on Friday. Next week is going to be a massive teller in which direction we could potentially be going in NVDA, but I believe that it's going to be up and to the right. A nice stair step, as Mitch Hoke was talking about it this morning. Hey, man, you're not going to get those crazy parabolic moves. Maybe you have that one-off event, but more or less a nice steady climb higher, and I think $250, $300 can most definitely be in the works with this bad boy, Sharif.
Get it, Joey. All right, halted down. SNAL, not good. In DXF, 179, rejection. Not surprising. That is the pre-market high. But here comes 79 again. We got shares on this one. There's 80. That's the official high. Looking for more. Watching at 80. Huge seller at 80. We almost flashed 81s there, but you can see how it takes off the size at 80, but doesn't quite make it up to 81. There is a monster hidden seller at 80. That is unsurprising because we know that was the pre-market high. Let's watch here. Let's see if we can take through that 80 seller, or are the sellers going to be stronger than the buyers here? Who's got the stronger arm, Joey? Is the sellers or the buyers at this level? There is basically an equilibrium between both. There's 81. There's 83, Joseph frickin' options. Looking for more. Looking for more. There's 88. Shout out to my man. You know who he is. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to upset Neil. There's 90, looking for more. There's the move up. There's 95, still looking for more. And boom, into 2. Good trade there. All right, nice scalp into 2. Resistance at 2. Watching. Let's see, back down into 90. Okay, let's see where the buyers step in. Where's the buyer stepping in? 89. Big buyer at 89. More size coming on the bid at 89. It's growing. It's actually not getting smaller. There it is, right into 90. But look how it moves into 90. Then that 89 seller, almost as if he didn't exist. And there wasn't even that much size that came in on the time and sales. I was watching that. But here we go again, looking for that move back into the 90s. We're still holding high 80s. I would suggest, this is what I do anyway. I mean, you can do whatever you want. However it floats your boat. 5-second chart is nice for areas of local support and resistance. And the way I see it, a lot of support right now at 180. However, lower highs ever since the 199 pop. Look for support at 180. If that means you pick it up at 81, 82, whatever. Now we have selling at 89. Remember the buyer at 89? Well, he's gone. Now they're selling at 89, Joey. Here comes the 84, 83, looking for looking basically again for 180 to see, is that buyer that was holding us up and initially preventing us from ascending at 80, are they going to come back in? So what was that candle low there? Candle low there of 82. Back into 89. Let's see if we can shake that 89 seller. Nope, not yet anyway. I want to see if this can resolve above 2. This should be really interesting into that $2 level, the 199 high. Silver has double bottomed and launched the last 2 days. If I didn't watch, I would miss the money. Of course, brother. Thank you very much to Skate Trader 1. Look, man, you're absolutely right. A lot is said about, hey, set up resting orders here, breakout trades here, stop losses there. Sure, all that works, but a lot of the times you have to make decisions in the moment. And if you're not watching, you can't know. Okay. Joey, QUCY is also ripping. Where the hell is my QUCY screen? QUCY. Remember this one from yesterday? Here it goes again, right into that 3 1/4. Now, here's the deal. There's been a 3 1/4 seller for a hot minute since we lost it at around 1050. We got a lot of bottoming tail candles that go into VWAP and go into 3. There's three aggressive bottoming tail candles on the 5-minute chart on QUCY. To me, that's indicative of aggressive buying in and around that whole dollar. Question always is whether the aggressive buying there outdoes the aggressive selling, as we've been seeing and continue to see at the 3/4. Here's 24. Let's see if we can kind of shake that level. We have a 397 high on QUCY. It's not going to surprise anybody. This is a second day play. Moreover, it's still up 141% on today's price action. So it's going to be on a lot of people's screens, and it is hard to borrow at no shortable shares on my platform there. So nice to know that. We'll continue to watch here, Joey, QUCY in and around the $0.25, simultaneously keeping a close eye on DXF at 2.
Nice, good luck there, brother. All right, let's take a little bit more off here on. No, actually, no. We'll wait. We're gonna post up at 17s on this bad boy. We'll take some more off there if we're fortunate enough to get that marker as we're starting to climb a little bit higher there, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, it's only a couple of pennies away. So we'll catch that IBIT. We got a dodge on that one. We did take off half of our position, which we are happy about. Bang, we got to, but then we get stopped out, break even, no continuation. Once I seen that it wasn't breaking down, I'm like, we have to get out of this, all right? Just in case it decides to really start to move. 45.70. You gotta change this. 45.70. Yeah. Jeez Louise. So yeah, there it is. Let's see if we get that candle fixed for us. If it doesn't break, I mean, like we had that initial flush. It worked for us right away. It would have been nice to hold it a little bit longer for a move back into VWAP, but I'm also okay with Bitcoin being extremely strong. So I'm not gonna fight this one or ever get try not to get too rattled on the short side. Getting rattled and trying not to get rattled are two different things. I think, Sharif, if we didn't know that already, because if you try and you still get rattled. Anyways.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm honestly just messing around, as I typically do. IBIT. I knew, but see, you went to the game. I knew you left early, and I'm like, man, the game really.
I said I was going to leave early.
Oh, yeah,
I made it very clear I was going to leave early. It's no secret to anybody, bro. I'm up at 5 a.m. and I would not be able to function. Dude, I had to come back to the office, pick up my stuff.
Oh, you did?
Right? So that means I had to get off at Wellesley, right? Walk all the way over, then schlep all the way back to the subway. I didn't get into bed till about midnight.
Oh, man.
Yeah, which to me doesn't work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like I'm not
anymore. I can't believe
that way.
Just before my knee injury, I can't even believe I was playing hockey at like 11 o'clock, being home at 1. Well, I just
we all did that. It's just it's not repeatable.
It's not,
and then maintain good health, right? Like you're just asking for it there. But.
Exactly. So yeah, let's get right back into things. There it goes. Oh man, I would like to hold this one here. I don't think I make Neil angry.
I think you upset Neil a lot. To be quite honest with you,
really?
Because of your statements about the food.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he seems to,
He's tapped in right now. I think he's got his thing, and he's tapped in right now.
Would you consider Neil a foodie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
He has very specific ratings, 7.7, 7.2. You don't give that kind of specificity unless you're a foodie.
No, I agree. I would think Neil's a foodie, yeah. All right, so there goes Bitcoin right back towards the downside. I think it might get a little bit more continuation here, guys. But let's rock and roll on Tesla. We're posted up on TSLA. Let's get past this one. We took our one attempt, and if it breaks down, then so be it. We missed out on that opportunity. It would have been nice, but you can't catch them all. But what we do want is catch a fill over here on TSLA. Yeah, let's go, Tesla, man. A couple more upticks. We're going to catch this one as the market is screaming. Is this all-time highs on the NASDAQ? Yes, sir, it is. All-time highs on the NASDAQ. All-time highs on the SPY. All-time highs on the CrowdStrike. What do you say?
Joe.
What's up?
Don't give up on your hair. I can't believe I'm reading.
I can't take Rogaine.
I fully regrew mine with microneedling and Rogaine.
Yeah.
Microneedle stamp is $20 on Amazon. Do it once a week, and Rogaine twice a day. Give it 8 weeks to start seeing growth.
Yeah, I can't do Rogaine.
Pardon me, Rob? Just go to Turkey, yes. But Rob, even when you do go to Turkey, you're going to need to maintain those bad boys. So you're going to have to get on it again. So
I'll tell you guys.
Still cheaper than Rogaine, Rob says. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that chemical in astracine or something in Rogaine?
Minoxidil.
Minoxidil.
Yeah.
I wasn't even close on that one. Yeah, I can't take it. I can't, guys. I already tried the Rogaine. I can't take it. I had a very bad.
That's why I said finasteride, but you don't want to listen to me.
No, I'm all right. I like my new look, man. I look at myself with hair.
I like it.
I was just a different person. So I got to accept this is a new chapter, new me, man.
Dang.
So no, in all seriousness, it's just I like it. You know what I mean?
I don't think
it's
bad at
it's
all.
all right, man. If I had
when I do see pictures of you with
hair,
I like that as well. So it's like they both work.
It's hard for me. Like, I feel like that's such an old person. Like, that person is no longer existent. Anyways, aside from that.
Deep, eh?
No, I truly feel like that.
Okay,
I truly feel like that, man. I'm like, whoa, I couldn't believe how much hair I actually used to have. And then trading, and then trading started happening, and then it just fell out like it was going out of style.
Try life started happening.
Yeah, exactly. I want to, before you go on there, Sharif, we're still in this trade. I'm glad that we got out of that IBIT short. But anyways, as for minoxidil, was taking it for quite some time. I got Selena brought it over from the States while she was visiting one of her girlfriends there. Anyways, I'm taking it for quite some time. I'm at the gym, and what it does is that it can lower your blood pressure.
Yes, that is
so what happened was, as I'm working out, I moved too quick. Everything goes blurry. I try to leave, but little do I know, I pass out and I smoke my head against the wall. And sure enough, from that, I got a concussion, and then I later suffered post-concussion syndrome from that, which was actually worse than the actual concussion itself, and it lasted for months where I was just, even on the show, going through excruciating headaches.
I remember that
day after day, which was not fun.
Yeah, and I remember you had periods as well too, like where you felt like effects.
Bro, it was,
so man,
you know, my quality of life was so garbage during that time, man. I was like, yo, I couldn't even imagine what people who suffer from like consistent migraines and headaches. I'm like, yo, I at that point I was just existing. I wasn't living, man. It was horrible, horrible, horrible.
No, you don't need that, bro. Forget the hair when it comes to that, man. All right, guys, let's get down to work. I'm watching QUCY here. I'm displeased with what I saw. Moved into 340 where we had another area of resistance and it failed. And it failed pretty clean. And here it is back into the low teens, almost single digits, 12 holding on by a thread. There's 10. So yeah, QUCY, I don't know about this one. But there are others. Specifically, DXF is really getting my attention here. The only thing is I just hate these prolonged downtrends. I talked to Luis about this yesterday. And you know, whatever time frame, like I'm looking at it on the 5, but if you look at it at the 15, it's basically the ones that we look at intraday on the 5, where I've been yelling about for the last, I think, couple of months, these ones that have prolonged downtrends and then break the up or down trend line only to make that lower high. And then lo and behold, look where that lower high may be coming in. We don't know what the future is, but it's at a $2 area, so 199. So that does concern me a little bit. Now, that's not the end all and be all. I have seen these trends go in a good way. In fact, I used to actually look at this trend as an A plus setup. I've since changed my opinion. I think it's really kind of market dependent, to be honest with you, how these setups work. So I'm going to keep a close eye on DXF, man. If it's moseying on into $2, it's putting in a higher low right now. Relative to the prior hammer candle there, which dipped in, I believe, into the 72 or whatever. Current bar low is about 78. And you have basically the same area here, whether you're looking at the candle that got into 1110. Look at the closing print, into the high 80s. Opening print on the red candle, 87. Current area, 87. So clearly a seller in and around that area. So DXF with a higher lows, but we know what this has done to traders in the past, myself included. RDW, though, looks fantastic. When we were talking about this one, we were on a 2-candle red pullback on the 5, holds again cleanly at the 10, and here it is trying to break through the intraday high at 390. You got to make the assumption this one, if it does break 390, may be on the way to 14. We're going to pause for a second. We're sending it to the big desk with Adara.
DJT pushing to the upside here. It looks like TAE Technologies, which DJT is supposed to merge with, just announced that they're entering their next phase of commercialization. This announcement coming in a form of a blog post that they shared. So again, TAE here, which is set to merge with DJT, announced commercialization phase, or I guess the next commercialization phase here as such. DJT pushing higher. Back to you.
Shout out to Kevin, Mr. Kevin G. Well done, sir. Trailing the ES from 75.04. We're up bigly, he says. Bang. Love the energy. Shout out to my man, Mr. Kevin. First time I'm seeing you in the chat, man. Perhaps I've missed your earlier messages. Let me know if you've been with us a while or are you new? Scott H. Small cap gapper trader. Joe. Sharif. I ordered... I'm not reading that.
Yeah, you can read it. It's funny.
Right.
I find it funny.
All right. Okay, as long as you give me authorization. I ordered a Joe toupee off Amazon. Why you like that, Scott? Should arrive for you tomorrow.
That's
Nice
the part that I'm
80s
talking
rocker style too. Wear it with pride, Joe. Okay, so remember that I was talking to you about clavicular and clav and all like that whole streamer. So there's another guy called Andrew Jensen.
Yeah, what's up with that guy?
I don't know. He's so funny. He was wearing a toupee and someone pulled his toupee off.
That's his thing, though.
But I think he set that up, though.
No, he always does that.
Right?
Dude, who's this guy they're calling Unk? You know the guy that they're just ripping apart?
No.
Who's trying to like act tough and be like, no, but I don't know his name. But everybody's like, Unk's trying to be tough, but he's trying to be like Andrew Tate, and he's just not doing it.
Yeah. Does he actually have like a fighting background?
He says he does.
Bro,
He
you need
like,
an
says all
addy?
these things like he went and trained with like the Shaolin monks and all this stuff.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Where is that from? An Addy? Why? Are you talking about Adderall?
No, he was around his friends, and then the guy's literally like dying around him. And then the guy's just like, "Do you need an addy? Do you need an addy, man?"
Addy. You're talking about Clav, I'm assuming, right? Because he was doing all the pills. It's a tough look there. But androgenic, oh, come on, strobe. I'm gonna unblock that for strobe, but we can't use that word obviously on the show, not yet anyway. Okay, I gotta digress for a second. Have you gone down, some of the stuff these kids are doing? Do you know that they're knocking, they're hammering their jaws?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know about this?
I don't know if that's
Assassino, are you seeing what they're doing?
It's called bone smashing. They even have a name for it.
Fantastic. I mean, they're smashing their jaw so they can get more defined jaw lines?
That's weird.
Come on. Bone smashing, says Laurel. Yeah, Adara just told us. I mean, I don't know, bro. It could work out your neck, yeah, from what? All the resistance? I mean, I have no idea what the hell is going on, but yeah. Apparently, that's part of the looks-maxing culture.
This guy.
I've seen him.
Yeah, this
Bring
guy.
him in.
They're just ripping this guy apart, man. Like left, right, and center. He's like, yeah, I trained with like the Shaolin monks and stuff like that.
Assassino, can we put the Joey's screen?
Yeah, this guy, man. I see they're calling him Unk.
Oh my
I know it's fearless effort. Just like some of the stuff that they're just tearing this guy a new one, man. Is absolutely.
The comments are crazy that are coming
Maxing.
in. Green Day Dean, I'm gonna unblock that, but that's funny.
What happened?
Well, Green Day Dean, you know how he is, right? Thank you very much for the €5 super chat to AXPM. Sharif, what type of percentage price moves are you looking for on a successful small cap trade? What does your R&R look like? Okay, really, really, really good question. So first and foremost, I never really want to define it on a percentage basis because it's so dependent on the day. For example, today we've got 3 names that are above triple digits. You got DXF, QUCY, SNAL. Sometimes the best we'll be doing on the day is like a 50, 60% mover. So it's contextual by day. How are the small caps biting today? So percentage-wise, I don't like to kind of give a flat answer for that. It'll be on the day. Number 2, R&R, let's bring it in right here. So let's bring in DXF. Sorry, let me just bring in my risk calculator over here. So let's look at the DXF trade, for example. So this is my risk calculator right here. So right away, I'll throw in DXF. It'll show me the price, trading at $1.80 to $1.80, right? And then look over here. I got the risk amount. I want to risk $100 on this trade, and that's what, based on my stop price. Well, I wouldn't put it 158. I'd put it at prior bar low, which would take us into, pardon me, 171. So let's go ahead and adjust that. And then right here on the bottom, you'll see it'll show me my 1R, my 2R, and my 3R. I'm always aiming to at least get 1R. Okay, for the majority of the positions. Sometimes I'll wet the beak on the way up with a very small size, but I'm always trying to aim for 1R. What I've noticed is 2R, at least for me, doesn't really fit my profile because it usually takes a lot longer to manifest. So typically what I'm going for is 1-to-1. Right? Sometimes I'll get 2-to-1, and those will be the ones that are really moving in a parabolic way, not the ones that I'm picking up off areas of technical support. So that's my observations about things. I would suggest you use something like this, and I vibe coded this, by the way. Ooh. Super simple. If you message me on Instagram, I can send you the entire vibe code script, and so you can run it basically locally. I think you just have to install a couple of things. And then it'll run no problem. So shoot me a message on the gram if you'd like, and I can definitely send that to you. And that goes for everybody else as well. Message me on Instagram, and I'll absolutely send this to you. I know I promised I'd make it, I'd put it up there, but I haven't been able to get that on there because it's kind of hard to put programs on behind the paywall here. What in the helly?
Yeah, man. Big time, man. Appreciate that.
$100 super chat, Joey. Flying auditor. I love that.
Yeah.
Old Texas Air Force vet, day scalp trader. You Canucks are good people, eh? Enjoy lunch. We love you, man. Thank you very much to Flying Auditor.
I love Texas.
I love the vibes, yeah.
I love Texas,
wow,
too, man.
Wow. You said some stuff about Dallas.
I told you, I took it back.
Took it back.
Yeah, I took it back. I want to go there or maybe go Houston
right.
or something. All right, guys. So thank you very much for that, man. Lunch on you. Much appreciated, Flying Auditor. Don't forget, we love everything is bigger in Texas, and so is that super chat. So thank you very much, man. I hope you have a fantastic day,
Sure.
you and your family, and thank you for your. Even though it's not our country, thank you for your service.
I love Texas, bro.
Yeah, I love Texas. You love Texas?
Yes.
You been there?
No.
All right, then. All right, come to San Antonio. Dallas sucks. I like Dallas now, guys. Deep Ellum and everything like this.
Come on now.
Don't mess with, I'm not messing with Texas. I like everything. Dude, I heard they have like drive-through. You can go up there and pick up ammunition through a drive-through and stuff like that.
Where was all that energy when you got back?
It wasn't there. It took me.
Where was that?
It wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I full disclosure, I'm like, hey man, I thought I was like, it's kind of boring. It was during a holiday. But then as I thought about it a little bit more, I'm like, yeah, I really like it.
You digested it.
I digested it, exactly.
So you're gonna come to a Cowboys game with me then?
Absolutely, man. I'll go to Arlington with you any day of the week. We can go pass by Dallas.
Pass by Ford Center.
You know what I really like about it? It was early April that we went, and it was warm, hella warm.
That's great. That I would definitely expect.
Exactly. So how Jonah. Yeah. So other than that, man, guys, we're still in this TSL trade. I'm thinking about taking an additional short here on IBIT. It's worked for us, but this name is really strong. So we're gonna allow it to consolidate around these highs, 45.91, and then maybe we'll start to break down. But I wouldn't be surprised if it takes an additional leg higher. What is going off here is the Nasdaq and the SPY once again printing. It's day after day. We're getting new all-time highs within the overall market here in the indices, so not too bad of a look whatsoever. Here's 721 on the Nasdaq. This is an absolutely insane move, guys. We don't talk about this quite often, the fact that we have the ability to participate in some stuff like this. I know that was during COVID. Things cooled down a little bit, but this bull market is in full effect, and if you go back to 2022, we've just been steady up and to the right with pullbacks, the deepest one being during the tariff tantrum. We're up 30% off of those. That's multiple years of returns right there in a span of a month and a bit. So not too bad of a look whatsoever on the overall market. The Nasdaq, the SPY, all-time high on NVDA, and then we're climbing higher in Bitcoin. What more could we ask for? And that's going to be CBRS coming up momentarily. Sharif and I are going to do our orders together most likely, and we're going to rock and roll Adara.
My man.
Here is Bitcoin, which is very much up on the day. We're pretty much erasing all of that move down that we had yesterday, and I guess trying to correct a little bit after that 3-day losing streak. Now, BTC here, right at 81,000. We did bounce off of that area of resistance I talked about yesterday that then switched to support. It's going to be just above that 79,000 level. And as of today, like all day, we've had, well, I guess since 10:30 a.m., we've had the Senate Banking Committee debating the Clarity Act. What's happening is a lot of people just putting out I guess different amendments, a lot of these amendments being rejected, a lot of these amendments not really even that related to crypto. Coinbase just got mentioned in not a favorable way. Long story short, it's a typical Senate hearing. If you guys like them, I highly recommend watching this because it's pretty entertaining for a Senate hearing. If you don't, I don't think you have to. And you know me, I will be keeping you guys posted if there are any big pressing Clarity Act updates. Furthermore, as I mentioned earlier, but I will mention again, I was made aware of this hearing because of a post from Eleanor Terrett on X. I do highly recommend following her if you're interested in the crypto world and specifically crypto regulation. She is a crypto journalist. And again, you guys can check this out, this live crypto hearing if you are interested. It's streaming live on X at the Banking GOP account, but I'll be covering it for you guys as long as it goes on. Back to you.
Before I send it back to you, we came multiple times getting close to the $17 fill. Here, we're going to get it now. It just needs to hit that bid. We've tapped into it on multiple occasions. One more clean flush to the top side, and then sure enough, we're going to catch that fill. It's starting to come back in once again. Come on. Give it to us, Sharif. I'm being patient. We're only a penny away, and it's tapped in, and it must know my order is there or something. Obviously being sarcastic, but no, there it is. One more additional clean flush. That was a nice, strong engulfing print. The volume was supporting it, and bang, we caught it there live on air. We didn't even do this yet today. Stone cold, and IBIT finally starting to sell a little bit here, guys. Yes, Joey, drive-through ammo pickup at 2 warehouse in Houston. Yeah, that's sick, man. If I've had some cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, and you can pick up beer too. Ammo and beer, great combination.
Yeah, what could go wrong, bro? Nothing at all. Man, first time I went in at the range, what kind of caught me off guard was I hadn't been in the range before. The echo.
Here?
No, I went in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
We're in like.
Oh, in California.
Yeah. Obviously, you have to wear things over your ears, but. Before you get into the range, you don't have to keep them on, like in behind thing, and just the sheer noise. And some dudes in there were shooting like is it called a Magnum, the long revolver one?
Yeah.
Bro, the noise, man,
Loud,
it just echoes, it reverberates.
So what people,
really
you know how we have all the war, not to get too deep into this subject,
Yes.
but I was just listening to some veterans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we have all these movies, and they're pretty good, like Saving Private Ryan.
Right.
I mean, we would know. But one thing that they say is completely underestimated is the sheer noise of what is going on, which makes it so terrifying. All right,
Bovin, no, I got to cover this.
You got
Bovin,
something.
I took QUCY as you told me to do. Bovin, we're in at 14s. It's ripping. Into 350. Good look here for QUCY. Simultaneously, I'm about to get stopped out of DXF. And here comes QUCY right back down into my entry. That ends the trade. Way too many topping tail candles on this one. Unreal. It just has this tendency to be met with crazy selling at the $0.50. But here it is again, trying to reclaim right back into the third of a dollar. So I'm happy that I was able to catch the top on this one, but displeased that it did not break the $0.50. Here we are right back into that $0.50 again. So continuing to watch QUCY, but as Luis Barbado made very clear to us yesterday, this one is bid non-compliant, and it took them multiple attempts to move it above $1. So let's see how far away from the dollar it can go so they can rest a little bit easier here. So continuing to watch this one. Disappointed in myself, though, because I had a really good trade set up on LESL. I didn't take it, and look at this thing rip. From 255, which was essentially the flat top that we had rejected multiple times on the day. It went essentially in a straight line through $3, through to $2.75, and has a high of day of that 3 1/5. So 320 HOD currently on LESL. It's really going here. Now, this one did have an issue with it earlier that the spread was a little wide. I'm seeing between 5 penny spread to a penny spread. That's manageable. I think that is something that most of us can get behind. You can just work around that using your risk management strategies. But here's what I'm watching. So the trade that I'm currently in and that I'm out of the money by 9 pennies on is DXF. Now, the reason I'm not stopped out is because this area right here, to me, is a clear area of support. And that was an area of resistance, of course, right around 10:45. It seems, for the moment, anyway, to be finding a little support here. So let's see if we can kind of double the shareage right at the area low. And we're going to look to move up our stop just a little bit. Now that we've kind of made an area bottom, we'll see what this 160 has to offer us. That's where I'm going to put my stop for the new ad there on DXF. So let's go ahead and throw that in. Now, keeping an eye, of course, on QUCY. This one is failing and failing 3 now. Oh, boy. This is no good here, Bovin. This is no good. This probably lured a lot of people in. Let's see if it's able to recover above 3. It is losing the bid. It is losing VWAP. It just dropped down into 275. That's an area low. We haven't been at 275 since 10:30, so that was an hour ago. A big loss on the VWAP there, in addition to the loss of 3, and it is really bleeding its own blood now. It's about to lose 70 pennies. I just saw what limit down was. I think it's in the high 50s. It's moved away from it, so won't be able to quite see that yet. When I mean limit down, guys, I know my top level 2 is moving pretty quickly, but there will be this red rectangle, on this side of the screen right here, right? That's limit down. And that will show you what price we would halt at. Now, sometimes that changes, right? Based on when the timer started for the limit down. So keep your eye on my level 2, and you can kind of follow along without me having to call it out. So QUCY, continuing to watch here for that. Watching DXF now, we're only about 3 pennies out of the money. I want to see if this one can kind of reclaim that 180 level. It looks like a bit of an ugly double top. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of resistance at about $1.95. So some trouble there. FRMI is moving up, says Bovin. I don't know what that one is. Let's take a quick look. FRMI. Oh, that one is ripping, Joey. So, yeah, cover that, and I'll look at FRMI.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go, man. We're patient. Nice re-engagement here on TSLL as it's continuing to climb here higher, guys. We take some off at 17. We take a little bit more off at 1705, and then now we're catching 1715s on TSLL. Let's continue to rock and roll and ride this. I might even mock this position, to be honest with you, to see if we're going to continue to climb a little bit higher, but a nice look for this specific trade. We tried once, and how many times do I talk about the fact that it's like, okay, we get in at the top end of the range? That's wrong, incorrect, okay? Unless that breakout works relatively quick, we fail, and then I re-engage once again right at the lower end of the range, and we're fortunate enough to head towards the opening drive here. You can see that 5-minute open print at 449 on Tesla, and then sure enough, we're right at that neck of the woods, looking like we're going to head towards the pre-market high of 452 on this bad boy. You see we're continuously knocking on the door of this 235 level on NVDA, right? What we have going on is that supply zone, 80,000 plus contracts at that specific level, grew from what we were talking about earlier in the week. So keep an eye out for any form of rejection at that zone. But what we got going on Tesla right now isn't bad whatsoever. We're happy. We'll lock it in. Are we monster screen? Absolutely not. Could have managed it a little bit better. I thought it would have came in differently, but that wasn't necessarily the case. We did take a little bit of a loss on ONDS, but I think we're like 2 for 4 here today and positive, so we'll take it, just making sure our risk to reward ratios are right. And here's the NASDAQ on the daily, once again printing a new all-time high. Let's head over to our watch list and see what we got going on over there. If you guys have any options questions, just put them in the chat. Feel free to tag me. I'm like, hey Joe, this is what we got going on. We had Leanne talking about something this morning. We're happy to talk about what she had. Leanne, so yeah, I love having the conversation with you guys. You guys are the best and absolutely hilarious as well too. So NVDA, there it is now, under the water 235ers right there, guys. We'll head over to the watch list, run through the Mag 7 and see what we got going on. Oh, I do have something. Actually, no, I don't. Anyways, NVDA. There it is. We talked about that. AAPL up to almost $300 again, but not quite towards those pre-market highs or the opening drive. Google $399, insane, starting to recover. So if Apple and Google decide that they want to bounce back, then watch out for the market to take an additional leg higher. Right? It's lagging. 621 on Meta hasn't fully broken out. This drive seems to be that is being carried by, you know what, I'm going to say it one more time, NVDA, $450 on, this is insane, on AMD, $450 and $87 on Netflix. It's not doing much whatsoever. Qualcomm is hot garb, and Oracle almost tapping into that 202 or 201 level, a high of around 201 there.
Did you see Elon yesterday at the meet and greet? When he was standing behind President Trump and Xi Jinping. So it's like Xi is coming in with Trump there. He's introducing him to all like the delegates. He's got his cabinet there. You got the Rubios, you got the Bessents. And then behind the cabinet are the some, it wasn't all.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it was most of the business leaders. And like everybody's like watching Xi, you know, and Trump interact. It's like, Elon's just like taking his camera and he's just like looking around. He's such a child.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Do you remember during the inauguration, he did the same thing? There's that meme of him and Barron. Barron is all like stoic and he like, exactly.
He's like
that
so
guy,
happy.
bro. I absolutely love it.
He doesn't care, man. I told you, there's a number in your bank account. Yeah,
that guy,
but also,
Fabian, we know how much you love him, Fabian.
I had some. Oh, did you see what? Did you see
super chat for Adara?
Yeah. What are you trading today, Adara?
You got €2 super chat, Adara. They want to know what you're trading.
Well, thank you for the super chat. I've been in a BIIB short basically all day, and that's been really nice. That's Biogen. Just honestly, like it's one of those ones where like there's nothing I can really do except see if this, you know, goes any further or gets stopped out. It's like a couple dollars in the money. That's good. I am like, I don't know what the average is here. It's at least $5 in the money on Micron. And I'm waiting for the Cerebras IPO. Had some rough times here with LITE earlier. But yeah, I mean, guys, I'm just, trying to stay light, waiting for Cerebras and always keeping you all informed because the news is always my priority. Very lucky to be able to do all of this stuff at this desk, and I always want to start and end with that when I talk, and thank you very much for the super chat. And honestly, always just surprised people are even curious and flattered that people even want to know what I trade.
No, of course.
Good luck.
Did you see what Ron Barron was saying yesterday about SpaceX?
Yeah, well, he's been saying that for a long time. He's obviously an early investor of Tesla, right? And it took him years
to get involved with Tesla.
His story.
For him to get involved.
Elon earlier on, like I think 14 or 12 or something like that.
He didn't invest until 17.
17 or 18, he started putting a lot of money in.
Now he's thinking. He said that he thinks that SpaceX can go to $30 trillion.
Look, I think a lot of these valuations are a little ambitious, obviously. But when you look at what SpaceX is doing, and then you look at where some of the future revenue could come in, I think it's, say that again? Luis.
Yeah, that is a great
How
question.
is it possible
that is a great
that
question.
the SEC is not forced to specify the open time in an IPO? What a joke. Yeah, they want to keep us all guessing, Luis, so we can sit at our desk all day and basically be unproductive. I know you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't really get some of the rules that they have there. I'm not going to say that, Fabian. That was pretty close. You almost had me there, Fabian. This guy, bro. All right, Joey.
Yeah, I'm putting in.
See where Broadcom is?
No, I'm putting in my limit on open order.
You're putting your limit on open. Well, I want to look at Broadcom at the moment. I'm going to bring it up.
What you got to do, my guy.
Yeah, I will. AVGO, did it get all-time highs today? 439.79. Is that all-time highs? 439.79, yes. The highest print before that, 439.50. So we've been kind of ranging at this 440 high for a hot minute. Marvell's also up nicely today too, by the way. 4 2/3 for Marvell, 4 4/5 going on 5 for AVGO. So this is a nice, I would say, accumulation zone here for Broadcom before this rips into 500. Yeah, keep your eye out on that. Obviously, custom ASICs game, we've been talking about that for months and months, so nothing new there. Guys, continuing to hold this position on DXF. It's not stopped me out. There's a buyer. It looks like between 65 to 64. I want to see if this bases out at the prior area of resistance. I'm talking about that 167 area. We'll see if it can kind of catch a bid, try to get back above 175. We're not really giving it much in the way of room, but I want to bring in this FRMI chart that Bhavin brought to us earlier. Very, very directional. Look at this. I mean, it didn't really show its hand in the pre-market. In fact, it looked a little bad. Quite frankly, it failed yesterday's consolidation area at $6, having dropped down into about 5 2/3. But that really all changed when the bell opened. A little zig and zag in the initial 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's just been ripping up. 732 high. And you had very few in the way of opportunities to pick this up off the 10 EMA. And you can see that because, well, there's only been a couple of touches there since we claimed that level right after the open there. So it's something to keep an eye on. Did you set up your trade on Cerebras or Cerebras?
I'm trying to right now. I don't know why my hotkeys not working.
Well, let's take a quick look, Joey. Let's see where it's at right now. We got $325 tap right now. Let's bring in, of course, the imbalance locator and get a gander. It keeps showing me sell, man. I mean, I haven't been watching it all that much, to be quite honest with you, but the sell side imbalance now for about 112,000 and a half shares. The paired volume, 2.27 million, 2.256, million shares have been paired so far by the exchange. But it continues to show a bit of a sell side imbalance with the current tap showing $325. So
I think it's Sam Altman's involved.
Well, you heard what I talked about this morning, right? About OpenAI's warrants.
How they have a $20 billion deal with these guys?
Not just, but they can buy more. And they have like a while to buy more of it. I think 10% more at a very, very diluted.
All right, maybe we wait for this thing to open up then. Maybe we don't.
I mean, I haven't decided quite yet. I didn't felt like I really needed to at the moment, but I could be wrong, right? This thing can open at any time.
And Sam Altman's starting to get this little bit of a gray cloud over his head.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, okay, so you know how I feel about Altman. We've talked about this. We've kind of said what some of his former employees have said about him, this, that, and the other. However, his performance on the stand is being viewed by market analysts as quite positive. In fact, when you actually look at the prediction markets, you look at pre-Altman testimony versus post-Altman testimony, he's substantially down in terms of the likelihood that Elon wins. It was like a 50-some-odd% chance that Elon, and again, winning here is a little subjective because, you know, you could win like $40 million that he gave initially to OpenAI. That's not what he's going for. He's obviously going for, I think, 150 billion he's asking for, as well as a dissolution of the for-profit and the resumption of the non-for-profit. So winning here is a little subjective, but the point is, it dropped like 50-some-odd% into the high to mid-30s. So well viewed was Altman's testimony. All right, took some profits there, guys, into the high on DXF. Second trade in. The first one I wasn't on the show. Well, actually, we did it on the show. Popped off to 180, found resistance. So if this breaks down below that 165, then I'll know I'm wrong on this one because that'll be a lower high and then a break of the lower low. So continuing to watch. Want to see if DXF can kind of mosey on back into that 199 high. Sam N99. I'm not sure what
yeah, that's a good one,
currency that is. Hi, guys. Been watching since January. I'm stuck long on Netflix, 91.37, and Palantir at 138.01. Would love your thoughts. Your analysis has been super insightful. You're awesome. You're awesome, Sam. We appreciate you. I'll take Palantir. You take Netflix.
Sounds
you
good
have an
to me.
affinity.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I do have an opinion about it.
Go.
You want to go first? I thought
Sure.
you were going on Palantir.
All right. That's rupees. Thank you, Bhavin, for that. That is rupees. Thank you, Sam, for the 500 rupees. Let's bring in Palantir. Full disclosure, I've never been invested in Palantir, but I still think it's a great company. Much like I think about Anduril as well. All these military tech AI companies.
I watched a Vice bit on it yesterday.
On Anduril?
No, yeah, I forget what the word is, but it's AI. You see that what they're doing in Africa with all these tools and stuff, like all these machinery. AI machinery is crazy, dude. But watch the Vice bit. So they have essentially like these kind of like, not droids, but these four-wheeled vehicles that are just strictly manned by individuals who are on computers far, far away.
And they're doing mining?
No, they're war machines.
War machines?
Yeah, yeah. But, so it's like unmanned AVs and everything, yeah.
And who's running these?
I can't remember. I can pull it up here momentarily.
Dude,
I'll pull
super
it up
interesting.
Yeah,
know about that, man.
It's dude. It's crazy. Like multiple mounts. Like they have obviously the droid or the drones, and then they have the four-wheelers that are huge.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I've never read it, but I've read the reviews. Not Fabian, but yeah, Fabian's asking if I've read 1984. Okay, let me just give my quick opinion on Palantir here. We are at a very critical level. This 130 level takes us back all the way to about February of 2025 and April and May of 2025, when essentially a 130, 125 was a level we couldn't really get through. That was a key resistance level. And lo and behold, that same 125, 130, look what it's been doing ever since early February. We have been holding up at this 125 level. So a key area of support, that's pretty obvious there. Now, so the question then becomes, well, do we bounce off it or do we lose it? Never really know, but what we can look at is trend. And I think you kind of get where I'm going with that. Area high, lower highs all the way through. So this could be setting up for what some call, Joey, a flat bottom break, where you're preceded by multiple lower highs only to hold the same area support, and then you end up failing. If you do fail, it could be one swift move into 100, who knows? But there is support there at the $100 vis-a-vis the double bottom that we put in from mid-early March of last year to the tariff tantrum in early April. Double bottom there, ripping through that $100 area. And then we had trouble with 130, as I mentioned. So Palantir, if you're asking from a strictly technical perspective, not good with these lower highs and a flat bottom. I would say wait for either the loss of 130 and a move into 100 to pick this up, or the reclaiming of that 200 simple, which also happens to be, ironically enough, that 160 level, which has been acting as an area of resistance. So that's my view on Palantir. I still think it's a good company, Joey.
Yeah, good stuff. So I'm just listening to what these guys have going on here. Yeah, let's get right into Netflix. I don't think you're stuck in this name. All right, I'll pause this here and then we'll get into what we got going on. I mean, there's a couple headwinds for this thing. We thought that we'd see this climb a little bit higher, but that hasn't been the case. I know a lot of individuals don't like some of the child content on there. I mean, anyways, it's a headwind for the company, right? I mean, and you see it kind of just not really do its thing. They're not posting their subscription, but from a streaming giant standpoint, I don't think you're stuck. You're long at $91, it's $88.17, and you had opportunities to get out of it at $108, all right? So just be patient with this name. If it's holding up too much weight in your account and you can't trade and you're just literally just bag holding this, I'm a shareholder of this at, I believe my average price is $90, all right? So just be patient. I don't think it's going to stay underwater for too long. At some point we will see. It's the second largest streaming giant there is, and it's going to continue to grow. They're adopting, obviously, live sports. The content is great. It's better than what some of the other streaming platforms are providing. Is it losing market share slightly, but nothing dramatically? Are they increasing their subscription premiums? Absolutely, and you're seeing that reflected in the revenues. So just be patient with this one. I think it's only a matter of time until we see a rotation. And I don't know what the PE is on this thing. We can figure that out right now. And if it's relatively cheap, just be prepared for it to get bought up. But don't panic. Continue to hold your horses a little bit here on oh, okay. Sitting at, that can't be right. I got to double check that. Because if that's the case, then it's still classified as cheap, and then someone's going to find it, they're going to pick it up, and they're going to be happy that they've started to purchase some Netflix shares all the way down there. Post-split, things typically get a little messy, all right? So just be prepared for that. Okay, it's trading at 28 times. So, I mean, a little expensive, but nothing crazy. Maybe we'll see. At some point, maybe by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if we're back towards all-time highs.
All right, in LESL, looking for a bigger move up here. There's a seller at 14 and 15. We got in at 305s. It was a nice recovery of the $3 area and a clean hold on the 10 EMA on the 5. Another hold of the 10 EMA, and we're kind of just dancing up here at around 13, 14. There's 14 again, looking for the move into 15. There it is. There's 20, rip up. There we go into 21. LESL is on the move, waiting for the third of $1. Adara's got breaking news.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at Boeing. BA on watch. President Trump announcing that Xi of China has agreed to buy 200 Boeing jets, as reported by Fox News. So again, President Trump saying that Xi has agreed to buy 200 Boeing jets. BA, I mean, it looks like dropping and then bouncing right back off the lows. Back to you.
She's my friend. Did you see that little bromance that they had yesterday across the table from each other?
No, that's good,
it's
though.
Like such an honor to be your friend. And it's like, it was nice. I did like...
blazing.
Yeah, it's great. And the thing is, I got home right in time for it, too. Like,
oh, really?
I was walking back from the subway. I'm like, all right, let me see if Trump and Xi met. Literally just started meeting, so I felt that I caught that one off there. But LESL is looking good here, Joey. 327 high. We're showing 22s. I'm looking for a bigger move up now into the third of $1. There's 28. Let's take out a bit more here as we're still holding. LESL is on its horse and could be on the way to the $0.50. There's 26. Let's see if we can get something in the 30s here. I haven't quite seen anything in the high 20s, low 30s quite yet. The seller is pretty aggressive, aggressively getting in or taking profits right around this $0.25. So I want to see if we can rip up here. LESL looks the best of the bunch. There's 26, 28. Okay, looking for a little bit higher, looking for the move into 33. That's where I'm waiting. There's 30, Joey. So there's the first time on the day we see a 30 print. We'll wet the beak there. Big seller at 30. There's 32. There's 33, and boom, into the high. 35 showing up, Joseph Options. 30 pennies in the money on this one. Need a little bit more. Looking for the $0.50 now, maybe to add into this position if it does retrace aggressively. And it's already shown you that that's kind of this one's intentions. It makes area highs, as we saw with the topping tail candle that manifested at 1135, made that 317 high, then dropped all the way back into 250. So get ready for a drop on this one. It could happen. Not saying it will, but that's something you have to keep an eye out. Shout out to Robert Lewis, 8344. Can you read the chart on Intel? Do you think it's another buy? I'm just going to tell you, without even looking at the chart on Intel, there are geopolitical reasons why Intel, I think, will be a good play for a little bit of time now. And it's just simply the fact that way too many chips are made in Taiwan. The Taiwan issue is not resolved. We know that. And we can't really rely on that island, given its proximity to China, because without Taiwan semiconductors chips, all hell will break loose.
Yeah, exactly. Not right now, anyways.
Well, how do you feel about the chart, though?
About Intel?
Yeah.
I don't even, I'll pull it up, but I'll just tell you one thing. It doesn't matter. You can have all these things going for you. Too far, too fast is real.
Good point.
Right?
Fantastic introduction.
I mean, it's been consolidating and do anything for so long, but you got to take in that, like, it was a high of 132, now at approximately $115. So that's a 13% pullback right out of the gate. I think you get a little bit more here. I mean, a little bit further, and then you're classified as in bear market territory, which I think is kind of comical. $100, I think, is reasonable. And this is what we can do, right? Like, instead of chasing price, this is what the beauty is, especially if you have the cash. I don't, there's other names that I want to get involved with, not necessarily Intel. Unfortunately, I can't have them all. That would be nice, but otherwise I'd be in it's pretty much every tech name that you can imagine. But if you have the cash and you're looking to buy this name long term, just do this. Like, it's just so you don't get FOMO too much. You know what I mean? Is you head over here into this neck of the woods and you're like, oh, hey, okay, I want to own INTC at $100, but I don't want to pay anything, but I also want to have the ability to collect money while I'm waiting. Where can you do that? Oh, yes, you guessed it. Sell some cash secured puts. Like, you collect $1,300 just to sit on your hands. And if you happen to get a sign, that's your objective. If not, okay, congratulations, you just made $1,300 without even owning the stock directly, right? If you want it at a lower price, same thing. So just be patient, and there's ways, especially if you're sitting on immense amounts of cash, where you're actually looking to buy 100 shares at a time, and you're not willing to chase price. Cash secured puts is the #1 thing to do. It's the
generates
easiest
revenue, right?
It generates that passive income, and then you get the stock at the price that you want instead of chasing it all the way up here, where I feel it might be a little bit stretched. Can we take an additional leg higher? Absolutely, but I can't say I've been doing it as long as Neil or Sharif or Sean, but I've seen it before. Chasing some of these moves, you only get frustrated and you risk to reward. Unless you're a long-term investor, that's a different story. But if you're looking to swing trade it, by no means am I going to be buying this stuff all the way up here.
Did you throw in your order?
No, I don't think I'm going to.
You're not gonna. You're not liking what you see, eh?
No, 325. It's up substantially.
325 too much, eh?
Yeah, I could. I mean, I could hate it, but if it's really strong, I think there's going to be another opportunity to get in, right?
That's fair. All right, it is 12 o'clock. It is happening now. There's not going to be a lesson of the day today because I think Neil's going to take CBRS, so we'll be right back to us, guys. See you in a bit.
Let's take a look here at the S&P 500, which is just on a run to the upside. Here's the 15-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now. We'll have to wait and see if we get a 9th straight green candle here on the market, as we have digesting comments here now from President Trump speaking to Fox News about the China situation here in the meeting with President Xi. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but before that, I do want to remind you guys, Cerebras, whatever you want to call it, CBRS IPO price range was 150 to 160. It was priced at 185, currently poised to open at 325. So big IPO here for Cerebras. Highest that I saw here for the tap was 400. So lots of volatility. Let's see what happens here with CBRS. Now, I want to mention here again this Trump meeting. Boeing, Kelly Wertberg over here, he, of course, came with President Trump to China. President Trump telling Fox News that China agreed to purchase 200 Boeings. Boeing only wanted them to purchase 150 jets, but apparently China decided to purchase 200 big Boeing jets. So BA stock does not like this. It's down in the day, just pushing lower, actually. But regardless, keep an eye here. Could be more companies making an announcement. Last but not least, there are still some earnings of interest after the bell tonight. Figma is one of them. Rumble is another. AMAT is a third. You can find this infographic on X at DTV Research. You do have visuals on AMAT and Rumble coming throughout the day. But guys, whether you want earnings news, whether you want IPO coverage, whether you want live trades of stocks big, small, and medium, please join us every single day on Trader TV Live. Back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Join us. All right, here it is. So you want me to show you my settings? I'm just going to do it for everybody.
I know it's my gate. Yeah, show everybody. I know it's just my gateway.
Sorry, Assassino. Thank you. Yeah, I have the NASDAQ. Okay, so I have market, NASDAQ, and let's just double click. I have destination NASDAQ and NSDQ on my for my limit on open key. That's why. Okay, it's pumped up now. 336, the new tap on Cerebras. So we will let you know as soon as that is open. Let's take a quick look at the imbalance locator to see, okay, it's a buy side imbalance, not by much. 11,500 having paired 2.59, so almost 2.6 million shares. And I'll just take this opportunity to explain kind of what some of this means for the newer traders out there. So buy side imbalance, what does that mean? So what's happening? I think probably should explain what's happening behind the scenes at the moment. So the NASDAQ is getting a whole bunch of orders. They're getting buy orders, they're getting sell orders, and they're trying to pair all the buy orders with the sell orders. And sometimes they have more buy orders than they have sell orders. And so what ends up happening is that you see the bias. It says side. So that means that there's 500, 1,300 more buy orders than there is sell orders. And so this is indicative, at least, on a, transitory basis, of the sentiment at the time. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Based on which side it is. And obviously the number here makes a big difference. If you're seeing constantly buy side imbalance of like 500,000 shares, you kind of get the idea there, okay? So, and then the paired volume, essentially what that means is the amount of shares that they've paired, all the buy orders with the sell orders, and when they pair those, that's called paired volume. So what we look for, right, is you want to see good buy imbalance. For the most part, you want to see buy side imbalance. But Katina Man gave me a really good trick, and it's not really, applicable in every context. But if this is a big number, the size right there, if it say it was a few 100,000, and it had been that way for the majority of the morning, or however long you're watching, and then it drops down like it is right now to single digits, sometimes that's indicative that it's about to open, because what the market is trying to do, or the exchange is trying to do, is they're trying to do their best behind the scenes before it opens to pair all the buy and sell orders so that they've got that fixed before we actually go into regular trading. So keep that in mind. We will see exactly how this ends up coming out, but for the moment, we're gonna go back to Adara.
CoreWeave just spiked lower here, already, pushing back. But it's worth noting, I'm seeing a claim here on X, circulation of a claim rather, that CoreWeave experienced a full data breach. Apparently, this includes S3 buckets, EBS snapshots, and workload logs, which reportedly contained personal and financial records. So again, breach here being rumored to have occurred here, or at least someone claiming to have breached CoreWeave's records. CRWV did briefly spike lower on that. I wanted to keep you guys posted. Back to you.
Clean hold of 3 here for LESL. This one popped off into 340. That's where we took it out. Dropped down into 3, and here 48. This one is about to break that $0.50. 49 seller of note. Shaken out 55. Ripping up here is LESL. Up 150% or thereabouts. This one could be on the way to 4. And then who knows, man? If things get really crazy, we could be on the way to 5. There's 360, 365. This one's really ripping up now. Watch now for a move, possibly back down into the $0.50. Observe how it trades at that $0.50. Let's see. We're going to pick it up here. We're going to give it to mid-40s. Let's go ahead, 243. We'll see what happens there, and we'll give it to, like, if there is a bit of a drop. So we got 56s on at the moment. Let's see what we can get up in the mid-60s. There's a buyer here of note at 53. There's 55, looking for another attempt here at that 60-ish penny area. The high of the day is 65 on the dot. A lot of selling here, though, Joey, at the $0.50. Perhaps this one's going to be ripe for another retracement back down, perhaps into the $0.25. We shall see. But I want to pick this up and try to take it into 4. What do you got, brother?
I don't know why mine's not accepting it. Every time I go to, I change the gateway up as well to NAS, and it doesn't even give me the option to create one.
How can it not give you an option? Your Joey option.
Look, see?
Okay, there was a way to do that. Okay, let me load up mine.
Even know
Let's do it again. Let's just make sure that all my settings jive with your settings.
Change it.
Pardon me?
I don't know why it's changed.
Let's just do it again here, brother. Let's just bring it in. Let me just make sure I keep my eye on this trade. So let's go ahead. Let's go down to NASDAQ, and then we're going to move on over to the actual key, which is M, Shift M for me anyway. So here's what we got, Joseph. Got single order. You got single order on that bad boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see your gateway is at 24x, though.
Where are you looking?
See your gateway at the top?
Yeah. Okay, for that, though, I thought you were talking about destination over here. That's what I thought you meant.
Mine's still not doing that. Like, I have the exact same thing here. Like, I'll do exactly what you did. 24x. I'll go to my key. And then when I go select my limit, my order type, it doesn't even give me the option to limit on open. So, yeah, good times. I'm
not really sure, but
yeah, it's all right, man. I'm not overly worried about it there. I tried on my ARCA. It gave me the ability to do so on my ARCA, and it doesn't want to allow me to. So, yeah, we'll figure it out once it opens, I guess. So, no, not at all, Mr. Douglas. I didn't care less. It's just frustrating with the platform because it shouldn't be that complicated. Anyways, Tesla, 2.2%. We're still sitting in this one here. Other than that, guys, like, look at Bitcoin go, right? Like, Bitcoin continuing to climb, 46.18, as we see some popularity start to step back into this name, which is good, right? Like a consolidation. We were thinking that the trend line was going to be broken. Hasn't been the case whatsoever. So bang, off to the races. It holds exactly where we want it to. We didn't want anything to open up on the backside. Now, this is going to be a key resistance zone. If we can crack 47 and obviously 48, that's a big level as well. $48, watch out for this. But if we can get into the middle of the zone, I like it more and more. All right, so not too bad of a look there on IBIT as it's any form of a pullback. I'm happy that we got out of that one, to be honest with you. And then I'm like, all right, we were looking for the short, but just too much confidence behind it at this point. Nice out, and then we get out, and good thing. Like, this is why we don't bag hold, right? So 30 cents OTM as it climbs the opposite way, 2.5% roughly here on IBIT. So not too bad of a look. We're still sitting in this TSLA monster. We're just gonna rock and roll with this one here as it's been cooking up since the low of the day. This curl over and how tight the volume weighted average price was, yeah, exactly. Clarity Act played for sure. I agree, save man woman. But you see how VWAP was hugging price very tight, and then sure enough, we slowly start to curl over. It took us 2 attempts to get this working, but I'm glad that it did. So yeah, not too bad of a play on TSLL. I'll take a little bit more off here and just leave the rest for a runner. We might mark it on close that bad boy just for giggles. Right. So yeah, nice play. I think we're about 60 cents ITM on that one, so not too bad at when a 2x leverage trade right there, Sharif.
All right, there goes LESL ripping into a new high at day 408. Multiple entries on this one. The latest one is 380, failing 4 now. Looking for continuation into 4.25, and let me tell you, I'm thinking possibly 5 here if we can catch the right bid. Seller at 88 locally, but also a buyer at 87 locally. Let's see how this cookie crumbles. Failing, flat. Nice trade. Definitely would have liked to have a bit more continuation through 4. This is topping tail, though. Watch for the loss of current bar low. That could end things here. 365.5. Current bar low showing 75, 74, 73, 72. Okay, here we go. Coming back down. It's turning into a really ugly topping tail candle at the moment. Let's see if we can backstop this in and around $0.75. There does seem to be a buyer in the low 70s, 73, 75, in and around that area. Look for support there. It's about to fail 70, and as I mentioned, 65.5 is current bar low, but there's a big buyer, as there was at 75. There's one at 70 here. So there's somebody backstopping the price descent. Let's see if they're big enough, convicted enough to push this back into 4, but continuing to watch here, LESL. It had been, not that great of a name initially. It was a wide spread, and it was, I think as wide as 7 pennies. Now it's really tightened up to 1, 2 max. Here it is back into 385. Funny enough, this 385 level keeps coming in. There was a monster seller at 385 before we price spiked up into 408. They seem to really like that level, but here we are into the mid 90s again and trying to make a move into 408 high. This one actually ripped up through 95 as well. So there was an 85 seller, there was a 95 seller, but there was an area of liquidity where we popped up from 95 into 408. So this one is quite interesting here. It's very, very respectful of trend, but it has a propensity to kind of put in these topping tail candles after making area highs. Just take a look at the 5-minute chart at 11:35. It failed and failed miserably. But Joey, man, dang it. RDW is ripping, man. Unbelievable. Look at the flat top break through 1390.40 right there. You're not even looking, but he's saying damn. Scott. This guy's a gaslighter right here, man. My guy, unreal. I heard the discussion this morning about that whole thing. But 1442 high on RDW. Very clean trade today. I think this is one of the better trades I've seen in a long time, man. Especially if you're using the 10 moving average on the 5 exponential, of course, as your area in and out. But RDW looking all sorts of fantastic, making me feel silly for not getting into this one. So is FRMI. RMI continues to stair step higher, 762 high. Looks like there's a buyer here at around 50 pennies, 750, give or take. A lot of area defends at that level. All right, time to clean up my all my stops so I don't get triggered into anything. And now that we're out of this trade, let's have a quick look here at what we're doing on CBRS. We're showing 332. Oh, I just canceled my order there. So I got to put it back. Oh, no. Assassino, yeah, take me off the screen over here so that we can. Yeah, because I canceled all my orders. So that was a mistake. To be
able to get one in at least here.
But now that puts me less in priority here, man. That sucks. All right, we're throwing it back in. We'll see what comes of this. But I'm not going to make that mistake again. I did a shortcut key to cancel all my orders, something that I do just so that I don't get triggered short on any of my stops. Sometimes you don't clean them up. That's why the order got canceled for CBRS. Thank you, AXPM, dropping €5 in the chat, Joey. Joe and Sharif, can you please explain your go-to trading strategies for different types of days? Trending up, flush down, sideways. That's a great question. I think it's more applicable to Joey than it is for me, but I'll just speak about my small cap trading style. I try to gauge a couple of things. Are the small caps biting on the day? And usually there's a couple of ways you can gauge that. Trend continuation on them. If a lot of them are failing at technical levels, that's a bit of an indicator there. Also, how many triple-digit winners we have on the day. Is like the best-looking small cap gapper up 50, 40%? Or is it like today where we have 3 above 100% and 1 MOBX just a little bit below 100% on the day. So I try to gauge it that way. And then, you're trying to get a feel for the entire small cap sort of market, for lack of a better term. And then looking specifically at the name that I'm trying to get into. Is this a name that fails at area highs? For example, like we were talking about LESL here on the chart, Assassino, where it makes that 320 area fail down to 250. Like, are there a lot of topping tail candles on the chart for the small cap gapper? If there are, then I don't end up holding for that long because I'm almost expecting it to fail once it makes an area high. So it becomes dependent on the name. So for the specific day, I look to see if they're failing, the small caps. For the specific day, I look to see, how many triple-digit winners or high double-digit winners we have. And then for the individual name, I try to get a gauge of its characteristics. How is it trading? Is it consistent or does it constantly fail? Obviously, it's a bit more nuanced than that, but that's how I approach my day. And yeah, how about yourself?
Yeah, that is a pretty good question. I mean, the thing is, it's so subjective. We could talk about strategies, but you got to come up with your own, interpret your own DNA into certain things. I mean, I'm a VWAP trader. I like to say in a volume-weighted average price. So VWAP and VPA, volume price analysis type of guy. And I mean, at the end of the day, go-to trading strategies for different types of days. So if you have an initial sell-off, I'm going to be looking for some form of a bottom or a continuation in selling. I would classify myself more or less as a trend trader, to be honest with you. I try to just go with the flow and stick with things that are strong. Obviously, you want to look towards your retracement plays, right, where you start to see pullbacks and maybe you can get a move back in towards the volume-weighted average price. There's just so many things, and like you have multiple strategies, but I'm not saying it's tough to quantify because it's not. It's just to say like my go-to strategy. It depends on the day. Depends on the session. Range trading, I'm not very good at. When the market's just moving sideways, I tend to get chopped up pretty aggressively because I like to play breakouts. I like to play continuation in trends. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that answers your question, but I was going to show you guys something here. I don't know. Actually, I wasn't going to, but I might show you guys something a little later. Let's see how this Cerebras IPO goes, and then I'll pull it up for you guys. But I was telling Sharif, I created my best algorithm yet. I created. Sorry, got a headache here, guys. So thank you for saying it properly. What's that, my friend? Cerebras or Cerebras? Same thing. I don't know what they're calling. I'll call it Cerebras, anyways. But yeah, anyways, aside from that, guys, like, there's so many things that you can do, and I'm happy to show you guys them here momentarily. Starving. Congrats, Wendy's. 100K. You hit 100K today. Nice. Wendy's Tendies, 100K by 4th of July. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking as well, too, to be honest with you. I would love that. I missed out on some things. How do you create your AI platform? I don't have an AI platform. I just literally vibe code. I know nothing about coding, but when you've been doing this for quite some time, you understand what you're looking for, and eliminating the subjectivity that comes, I guess, with the human, comes with human emotion at times it's pretty easy. Oh, I thought it was open there. So what I've done is just essentially just taking what's in my mind, what I've seen and what I've learned from other individuals, implemented it myself, and then just type it into ChatGPT and tell it to spit out in code. And the more specific that you are with the criteria, the cleaner the code comes out and the more easier it is in order for you to implement that specific trading system into your day-to-day trades. So I'll pull it up here for you momentarily. I do have I do have a couple of my codes here. So this is the list of ones that I find highly efficient. I guess I could pull them up here. Regardless, so view whole file. And so here it is, right? Like, so this is, I know nothing about coding. I just type in, I vibe code, and I tell it to spit back things, and then I refine and I just fix the certain criteria within it. There's metrics within that code that you can just change and adjust yourself. So I'll show you guys momentarily once the Cerebras, or maybe in the latter half of the day when it's just Neil and I over there at that desk. But right now the focus is on this IPO and then Tesla continuing to climb. Now 90 cents, almost $1 right there on a 2x leverage. Uncle Sharif, are you doing Lou or Moo orders on CRBS? I believe he's done a limit on open. Yes. I'll let him speak for himself.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Limit on open. I have a market on open key. It doesn't really make a difference, I guess, in this case, because I put my limit at 500. So, and that's just so that I don't have to deal with not getting the print. Yeah, so that's what I'm using, brother. I'm using a limit on open. And if you don't have to super chat again, but thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you using P8? Are you on real trading? Let me know if you are, and if you want any sort of setting advice or anything like that. Guys, DXF, as you guys are astutely pointing out in the chat, is ripping here. Here we go, 190. Watch out for the rejection at 2. Of course, it is a 199 high, so we need to be on the lookout for that. I want to keep everything near CRBS, so we're going to put DXF over here on the Amex, right? Yeah, the Amex. Sorry, guys. Let me just take that off and then put something else over here, like AIIO. And the reason I just want to do that is because when things open, I don't want to be going far away from the screen. Is looking fantastic. LESL is looking pretty good, but it has a lot of topping tail candles, sadly, into $4, bottom right of your screen there. It's still putting in higher lows, so I don't think it's a bad trade. It's south of 4, putting in higher lows, but a lot of topping tails. And then, as Bovin astutely pointed out, I'm missing the trade on FRMI. Boy, am I ever. Because this thing hasn't even glanced at the 10 EMA. This is a buy program. Look at this thing go. 28.33% in Greensville here with nary a breach of the 10 EMA. The only one that I see is at 1045 bottoming tail candle, which got immediately bought up and in fact closed yellow. Yellow means the opening and the closing price were the same. And then it right at the candle subsequent to that at 1050, and it really hasn't looked back since. 774 high, a couple of topping tail candles into 774, showing some possible sellers at around the $0.75. So there's been a lot to trade today, guys. There's been LESL, RDW, if you were inclined to that, DXF, FRMI, and there's also ones that I've just taken off the side chart because they've kind of lost trend, but that were good initially. So something to look out for there. Rip. Live. £5. Shout out to Wally Jaw 3D. Thank you very much for the £5 there. I like how you use the ripping statement there. Where are you from, brother? In jolly old England. Yeah, it is quid, hangry wife. That's what they say, baby. Let me know where you're from, Wally Jaw 3D. And if you like soccer, who do you support? Or sorry, footy. Who do you support out there? I'd like to know. I'd like to know all our viewers from jolly old England. We have 420 Bud Monster as well, who's from there. Joe, I haven't seen him in a minute too, though.
Yeah, where's 420 been at?
It sounds so goofy. Well, you know, come on now, man. Nice. All right. Continuing to hold on here, Joey. Watching DXF as it works back into 90, though. Looks like it's topping tail a little bit. Yorkshire, darlings. Okay, Yorkshire. I like it. Good look. Yeah, I'm interested here in executing on DXF. I just don't want to get in when this is making yet another lower high, because didn't quite make it up into that $192 area again. Shout out to Peter Hope. Dropping 2 in the chat. Thank you for that. ONDS, that's your world, Joey. Hi, Joe. Sharif, my account is up 84%.
Okay, there we go. We're in. Finally, man. Let's
Happy
go.
Thursday. You got it?
Finally.
CRBS, good?
Yeah.
Put it at 500?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
My guy.
All right, so if, Joey and I, we're going to take the same trade. If we get shut down, we both get shut down, and there'll be no trading for the afternoon.
Yeah,
no, of course, we'll switch to Sim, but it is what it is, man, you know? Say that, yeah, okay, Neil, calm down over there, brother.
Stop that,
Neil's gonna get shut down. Yeah, nice try, buddy.
Brother.
Nobody's buying that. 330 tap right now, Joey. But do you want to cover ONDS for Peter Hope?
Yeah, absolutely. We took a trade on that earlier this morning, and it didn't work out. But like shortly after, it just absolutely decided to go bonkers. So, Yonkers, New York. That's a place, right?
Yonkers, of course.
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
No, I have not. Have you been to Rochester?
No, I've never been to the state of New York.
No?
No.
You never even passed through?
No.
Neil doesn't like that comment
I might
at all.
have passed through maybe when I went to Cleveland, but I was young.
Doesn't like that comment at all.
Yeah, I got to go there. All right. ONDS, man. This thing is going absolutely nuts. Yeah, Neil looked at me like, ooh. Anyways, $9.60 was that low. We caught the initial short. We tried it once again, but you can see that it failed to put in that new low, and then it broke through the volume-weighted average price, and off to the races it went. As soon as it broke through VWAP, it was a nice, strong move. So, yeah, good work there. Happy for you. Let's see if there's actually a specific question. Hi, Joe, my account native. Happy Thursday. Oh, that was just Super Chat telling us about it. Yeah, man, congratulations to you. Impossible you have never passed through. No, brother, I've never. Maybe when I was younger. I don't think so. What do you mean?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
No, actually, I have. Okay, so I played hockey on the Buffalo side. Okay, so, yeah.
It's like across the road.
But when we're talking New York, we're talking like New York.
Yes, but Buffalo does count as New York, right?
New York, yes. So when I've crossed the border, I have been to Buffalo. Yes, I guess that is good. Buffalo is elite. Joe got to get down there for a Bills game. I don't know about that, man. You guys get, yeah. Other than that, what are we sitting at? $330 is the tap on CBRS. Let's rock and roll on that one. I got to message Jose to see if he's going to be limiting on opening.
I talked to Ben. He's not.
Ben's not?
Ben, no.
Did you hear anything from Obi?
No, I've been messaging Obi, but wow, LESL, this is ripping. Here we go again. I just finished my entire trade so quickly. I set up all these orders. LESL is ripping into the highs, guys. 468 high. We're doing it again. There's 75. That's the high on LESL, up 230%. It just keeps going and going. I told y'all we'd see 5 here, man. It just, it's an instinct into these bad boys. There we go, 4 2/3, looking real good. Where was the breakout trade that I took? I took the $0.25 there. Best print that I got was 64, so we didn't get quite top wick yet, but LESL continues to make the move. Here. Top dropping. Hey, that means we may be ready to open up. Oh, 325.
Yeah.
325 still, Joey. All right, not a bad look. Not a bad look.
Jose is not looing. He doesn't know the spread. He's not getting involved with that. Yeah,
it is a bit of a lottery ticket. Let's just call a spade a spade.
It is at the end of the day. You have no idea.
You try to put the odds on your side, obviously, but try to gauge sentiment.
Look what Obi says.
What?
I said, what are you doing with CBRS? That we cannot repeat. I know he's having a good day. Of
course he said that.
I know he's having a good day when he says something, just trying to play.
Yeah, he's been in a jolly mood.
Yeah, totally respectable. I'm going through all of them, you know it. Okay, so yeah, I have one of my friends taking the loo. Obi's just looking to play the price action. Print and maybe this has to be halt down. Yeah, okay. So if I'm long off the print, then my risk has to be halt down. So I'll size according if I'm taking that, we'll see. All right, so he's getting prepared for that. People's chiming into me left, right, and center on what they're going to be doing with this IPO. It's going to be a big one. You know what it's going to be like between Sharif and I.
I love
if it happens to work out for us. So one's never seen anything like this. So if Katina Man was here, it'd be a different story. But we'll try to make it as entertaining as possible. Adara, are you doing anything on this IPO, or are you going to wait?
So I did get locates on it, full disclosure.
Okay.
I'm going to take the loo, but I'm much more interested in what it does after it opens.
But yeah, totally understandable. Good stuff. Yeah, so we're going to have fun. Let's see what else Obi has to say here. So if I size according, more of that letting the trade show me, it's already trading CBRS USDT on crypto exchanges. So watching that a bit as well. Okay, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard about this before. Okay. Where some of the secondary markets are trading there. I think it's a European thing, though, no?
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be. It's under USDT.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's a European thing. It's on the crypto exchanges right now.
FRMI is coming back down to 7.5, which is a 10 EMA on the 5. You don't get many opportunities with FRMI. Bovin, what's your move here, brother? Because here it comes into that 7.5 FRMI. We've been looking for reasons to get into this one all day. You get in here, give it to maybe to 740, maybe even between the 10 and the 20. If it fails the 10 moving average, the money fills sometimes are in between the two. Ostentatious productions. I'm in London. Where's my M3? Where my M3 got totaled. What is your second? I'm unblocking it, but I'm not answering it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Ostentatious productions. I'm sorry, brother. Your M3 got totaled, but I don't know what that has to do with the next question there. But FRMI continuing to rip up. We're going to take off DXF over here, throw in FRMI on the NASDAQ, I'm assuming. There it is, right off that 740 into 756. Looking real good here on FRMI. Still obviously below 774 high. Bovin is saying QUCY is moving up. I haven't had eyes on that one in a while. QUCY, yeah, it's still lower high trend though, Bovin, but I get you. Can you please take a look at AMD, says Vinny Vici.
Ooh. What?
Oh, man, ostentatious, bro. You're a joker. Love it. What was the question? AMD.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you wanna look at AMD because that's more around your world?
Yeah. We can take a look at advanced money duplicator.
Oh, it's a duplicator now.
It's been the duplicator.
It's been the duplicator.
It's been the duplicator. All right, man. Open up. We're printing threes on that tab. Let's pull up AMD. $448. Did it go into all-time high today? No, not quite. What is that all-time high? $470 flat, we shall call it. Just letting this Tesla trade ride right now. There's no point in us getting in. We don't have anything. This is going to be our make or break. Like CBRS, people are getting involved heavy here. We see what Obi and Jose are up to. Here's AMD. We can talk a little bit about this name. Strong move, right? Like a nice, strong uptick. $453. Has AMD ever split? I don't think so. So, I mean, continue to climb. And I like what Mitch was talking about earlier, is just ask for room to grow. There is a little bit more here because once you get so big, you get happy with like 10%, but when you get into those higher double digits is what AMD, I think, has the potential to do. but just pick your poison, right? 128%. With that being said, I think a little bit more volatility comes within AMD. Now, when you're the king, everybody's coming to take your throne. And with market share standpoint, there's only, when you hold the majority of it, there's only one way you can really go, and that's down, unfortunately. But I'm not worried about anything to do with NVDA, and nor am I going to be. Here it is, a high of $236. After that breakout, you get $40 there, and AMD just went up 130% since the beginning of last month. So a lot positive going on. Am I buying it up here? I've went over this spiel before. There's zero chance that I'd be buying.
0% chance.
0% chance I'd be buying AMD or INTC all the way up at these highs. I'd be waiting for a pullback to get involved there without any question. Other than that, man, Bitcoin's still strong. So the long-term account looking out here today, we like that one.
Bang.
Tesla has been an absolute beauty here for us. We were patient and waited for that one. Traded two names on the day, ONDS and Tesla. We go 1 for 3 here on ONDS and then shoot a 50% clip rate on TSLA, putting us a little green here on the session. And we're going to be patient and wait for what we got going on in the IPO here today as things start to ramp up. We're now printing $350 on the top, my guy. So that's starting to climb. We like seeing that. Let's see what Bravely in the chat. I know I never gave any shout outs to him today. He's putting some things out there. Yeah, I got it. Thank you, Neil. Much appreciated, brother. And then here with Bravely, who do we got? We'll give a couple of shout out names here. We got Jeff Jerzik. What's going on? T-Rock, who's in the chat all the time. From here to there, I like that one. Jose Garcia, I like from here to there. Randy's World, oh, okay, dang. Hey, that's my second favorite word. Oh, I'm not going to repeat that one.
Joe Dirt.
Vision.
Dang.
He's always like, dang. Digital Product, Lucky, Lauren, Celeste, and we have Val. What's going on? Athletic Nick, and we have Zoo Rush. What's going on, everybody? And our mod over there on TikTok. And you'll catch him here on YouTube. Bravely, so say what up to him in the chat there, guys. Joey, Options, Gianos, what's up? Christ Godson #1. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And I know Neil put the question up there, but is it right for us to ask, like, hey, just put it in the chat, say yes or no. Are you going to be trading the CBRS IPO? And has what Sharif and I have been talking about changed your opinion on?
I think we. I want to get your opinion
on
what's your trade plan here. Are you looking for? Are you just strictly looking at price action, or are you going to wet the beak at a certain level, waiting to be 5 in the money, 10 in the money?
It's either I'm going to get shut down, right? Like I'll get like I mean, you got to think about it. It's opening up at $350. There's so much that only so much we can let it go against us, and I think it'll be telling. Out of that initial reaction. If it's strong right out of the gate and we're instant ITM, then I'm going to try to hold it for as long as I possibly can. I need as much data for me to print as possible, but I'll also get stopped out so that I don't get obviously destroyed.
Let's go to Adara. I just have a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Hearing a whole host of comments here, guys, out of the third round now of Lebanese-Israeli negotiations, and these comments are kind of all over the place, but I do want to mention here that these are happening. I'm hearing on one end that apparently there's no signs of major issues. Then the other hand, I'm hearing that apparently the environment within these negotiations, quote, does not inspire optimism. So I guess no major issues, but also doesn't sound like we've made much of a breakthrough yet in the third round of Israel and Lebanon negotiations. If I get more details from this, I'll keep you posted. Keep an eye on oil as we send you back to the guys.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess you're addressing the stop there.
Yeah.
What's your plan on profit taking? So let's just
depends when I want.
Say we get 350.
350.
The top right now is 350. Say we get it.
Half off at 360. Let the rest ride.
360.
Yeah. But it's
I was
pretty
thinking
expensive.
this one can squeeze easily into 4, given what it's been doing.
Yeah. If it goes to $400, I'll have half of my position left. Right, so 360, we take half off there and then leave the rest for, mock that bad boy.
Mock that bad boy. Currently showing paired volumes picked up markedly here. Oh, look at the paired volume shows here, eh? Mm-hmm. You know that? I didn't actually know that. The paired volume shows right by the top.
PAV,
so
man.
363, we were talking about this at 2.5, so they've paired a lot last time we were speaking. The top now showing 350. It's still a sell side imbalance with 125,000 shares-ish on the sell side. Paired volume 3.62. The paired volume's picking up a little bit here. Maybe something to keep an eye out on as we may be getting closer to the opening of this. So let me just set this up. By the way, man, FRMI, Bovin, I didn't get into this. I should have. What a clean hold. I just want to fixate on CBRS here and not really looked at others for the moment as we get closer to 1 o'clock. But FRMI, my days, gave you money entries at 745, south of 50. And here it is, 2 or 3 pennies off the high of the day. Again, FRMI looking real good. TT Mass says EROK, new IPO today. I can only take one IPO, man. Come on. EROK. Let's have a look at that on the side chart. Let's flip to the 5. Did it open yet? Yeah, oh wow, this looks pretty good. All right, 2210 base. It looks like it opened up at, I want to say 2260, something like that. 2350 high. This is looking pretty good, man. EROK is the ticker. Let's throw it on the side chart so we can follow along. What the hell was that again? EROK, yeah.
I like what Luis brought up. It's like, why they should have to tell you a specific time instead of leaving.
I get that, but they're not. So
I know they're not, but it should be a part of the SEC. Like, you can just, everybody's waiting. Okay, you have subscription up until this time, and then we release the underlying asset. So IPO, I like that one. Manifest codes now. IPO, it's probably overpriced.
Poet is putting in a possible flat top break here. I'm going to keep an eye on EROK because it looks pretty good. It's just making more new highs. So EROK, 2375, it looks like the high there. But I want to show you guys Poet because it feels like this one is accumulating for an aggressive flat top breakthrough about 1950. Whether you get this kind of bamboozlement with these topping tail candles, all of which failed 20, we'll have to wait and see. But it's basically an ascending wedge pattern with a lot of higher lows and that same flat top area of resistance at around 1950. So that's the chart pattern there. This could be a money entry through 20, but it's going to have to clear that 1950 first and foremost, and then it's going to have to show us that it's not going to fail at 20 like it did last time on 3 different occasions, all of which those candles right here from 935, 940, 945 all failed $20. So we'll keep tabs on that. Not a bad look there, yeah. Just waiting for CRBS as we're about 20-1 at the moment. Oh boy, that game went late yesterday, dude. I ended up leaving like a little bit before 9. Took me like
TSE short.
Almost 10:30 to get home, and then didn't go to bed till about 11:30. So I am all sorts of fatigued today, but hopefully this year CBRS would be good. Wake us up a little bit, Joey.
Yeah, and that cool. The writing options is where I've lost the most. There's a time and a place. I've tried all option strategies, 0DT, weeklies, monthlies, wheel strategies. Lost a lot with all of them. What do you recommend me? Stop with selling options? Dude, I'm telling you right now, and I'm speaking from experience, my largest options losses have come from writing. You got to be, yeah, it's not even close, dude. You have to be so precise with some of your options writing, and it's fun games. I remember, like, at Pug Life, I haven't seen Pug Life in the chat, but it's just like, I remember certain individuals who are looking to write some options calls on Tesla, and it just goes absolutely through the roof. Options is an absolute different beast. It's literally the supercar of equity trading. Like, you hit the gas, and things can go absolutely insane real fast. You have to be prepared. Just stick with purchasing from now. I was a heavy options writer. I found success, but then you just take those couple of massive losses where you're just like, is it even worth it? Some people would agree. I think it's a lot of the bigger individuals who are getting into the options writing. So just, yeah, I would take a break from it. And if you're looking to get involved in options, it's definitely you gotta go long. It's the easier way, fixed risk, right? As for writing options, you can lose a significant amount of money. So
let me ask you an options question. So say you're long in equity, right? Yeah. Let's just go with something that you want to hold long term. It's out of the money. Do you, as a strategist, stop out, wait for it to base, buy it again, or do you continue to hold it and hedge through the options? routes?
That's a great question, dude. That's a really good question. I didn't think you were going to go that way. I think you can go both routes. You can go both routes. Are you willing to take the stop out? But I always say this, depreciation or appreciation within the underlying asset will never amount to the value in which you will collect via premium.
That's actually a really good point.
Right.
And the premium could be quite hefty too. It could be pretty good, really depending on the option. It
could be good, but what I'm getting at here is when you're writing an option, so in reference to your hedging, there's only so much you can make. And what I'm saying, the depreciation within the underlying assets, so say like the stock continues to drop, can be greater than what you can collect from a hedging standpoint.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
Always. That's how it works. Otherwise, it would be too easy.
It'd be, okay.
Well,
no, I'm saying. Like, because, for example, like a lot of people, they want a specific name, and they want to hold on to that name, right? But at the same time, they want to make money if it's going to go down while they're going to continue to hold it, right?
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
So it's like, okay, so say, for example, I got into Apple, right? Let's just say I got into Apple at, I don't know, 275. It goes down to 225, but it's still holding that key technical level, right? And it could theoretically lose 225 and go to 200, which is another key technical level for Apple. Do I continue to hold, or do I continue to sell calls? And how many can I sell? Like, do I sell a chunk perhaps at 225, and then if it loses 225, I can sell more on the way down to 220.
The thing is, you need, so for every, it needs to be to one to one.
1-to-1, right?
Yeah, right. So for every 100 shares that you have of that underlying, you can only buy one contract.
Fair, right? I knew,
yeah.
But and they have to be fully paid for, and it depends on how many shares I have will be based on how many contracts I can sell, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get to some of the comments. I like these in a second. We got to go to Adara, though, news.
Yeah, we don't often talk about currency here, but I want to bring up the Great British Pound. This is the GBP against the USD. Shout out to the Central C and 21 Savage song. But big drop here for the pound. Apparently the pound at a 1 month low. This comes as Andy Burnham, who is currently the mayor of Greater Manchester and formerly served as Member of Parliament, announces that he's going to be running for Parliament again. Not going to get into all of the political situation here in England right now, but regardless, GBP dropping to a 1 month low, and as you can see, dropping sharply against the USD as Andy Burnham announces his parliamentary return after 9 years. Back to you.
Yeah, the growing calls for Keir Starmer to step down are just expanding there, but he's kind of putting his foot down. He says he's not going to go anywhere. Last I heard, anyway. Continue on.
I mean, just to say what you get, you got to have a 1-to-1 on that one, and then like what? So say like you're holding that 225 level on AAPL, you decide to write a call higher than that at 245, but then it falls down to $200. We'll call it flat. The amount that the price, like via your shares, will be greater than what you've collected on the premium from writing that call.
That's what I get that point. Yeah, I do get that point. But like I don't have to sell all the calls at any one level. So the point, what I was trying to make is, so say for example, I have 200 shares, just for the sake of this point, I can sell a call at 225 when it gets down into that technical level for one call. I sell one options contract there, and then if it loses that, I sell another one at 200 if I have another 100 shares. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, breaking news with Adara.
Apple spiking lower, in fact, to low of day, seeing reports that Apple's partnership with OpenAI has frayed, and there could even be a legal battle that could result from this. OpenAI apparently working with a law firm to prepare actions against Apple. Basically, as we know, Apple and OpenAI had made a deal to weave ChatGPT into their software, but OpenAI saying that Apple failed to meet their financial expectations. Again, OpenAI reportedly planning to sue Apple. Back to you.
Ooh. Man, the story keeps getting deeper and deeper.
I like it.
With Sammy Altman.
Yeah, let's see where this goes, man. It's interesting. Let's see what Sammy Altman has.
It is really going down a dark path for a guy from work. It is it's not even public yet, and there's already this gray area around Sam Altman.
Yeah, let's see what he has to offer, man. Interesting look. Yeah, it feels like everybody's kind of getting off the OpenAI ship as of late, because I don't know. You never really want to kick somebody when they're down, but it does feel like it is a bit. But they still, hey, man, they still have all those DAOs. They have by far the most, just the revenue issue, I think, and the model. But to be fair to them, a lot of people spoke well initially about 5.5. So
you
got to give them credit where credit is due.
I mean, if SMCI can illegally sell chips and not really report on time. And I'm sure what Sam Altman's got going on isn't absolutely horrible. We're going to take one more attempt here on the short for IBIT. We did have that downtick being led by AAPL, guys. Someone asked me, Joe, why did you give back so much of your profit here? Half of it off that high. Just holding it, man. I have literally 2.5% left of this position. It's small potatoes. But now we're back short IBIT to see if we can get any form of a breakdown. If it does break through that high, it's 15 cents worth of risk. We're not going to complain whatsoever about that. Just for a potential move down into 46.10, or maybe even if we're fortunate enough to catch $46 flat. If it's strong, we'll know once it breaks that level. And then we just get out of Dodge and we wait for CBRS, which I believe is going to be opening up around 1:30. I wouldn't be surprised.
Why do you think so late? And Neil's like, yo, man. Yeah. Neil has to go to the... I feel bad for Neil, man.
Yeah,
he's been sitting there.
He's been just waiting, man. He's been waiting. So, yeah, it's a waiting game.
It's hilarious, guys. All right, we're going to Adara.
Yes, we talked about Apple. Now I want to talk about Coinbase and Circle, both of these on watch. The crypto market bill has won a key Senate committee vote. We know because they were clapping, and that's really the first time they've sounded clapping or happy this entire now 2 hours that or over 2 hours they've been holding this meeting. Again, Senate Banking Committee coming to at least some key vote here. They're still voting, they're still talking, they're still making amendments. By no means is this committee over, but I'll be watching the whole committee meeting, so stay with us here at Trader TV Live. For now, though, COIN at intraday highs. I told you Coinbase caught some strays earlier today from certain senators. Circle rejecting a high of day a little bit here, but either way, guys, these crypto names on watch. Clarity Act advancing. Back to you.
Yeah, with that being said, Sharif, I want to touch on this. I have to be prepared that you might not get too much continuation within this trade. I understand that it's a couple pennies, but it's better than nothing. But if this thing really starts to turn out more positive than what it is, you're not going to get much of a pullback. It's just going to be more or less people just stepping off the gas pedal and not buying shares, not necessarily short stepping in right now. Don't want to be going against Coinbase and some of the other cryptocurrency names. What's Robinhood doing with that question? The more that I speak about it, the more I kind of want to get out of this trade. So I'll be patient on this one. What's Robinhood up to here? Okay, up to $81. Bang, we'll take that one, man. It's an absolute banger for our LT today. So we like that. Clarity Act passes the Senate, says Mopar. Thank you for that. Adara was just bringing that to us. So yeah, really good stuff in the crypto space here, guys. As Bitcoin is slowly selling off, nothing substantial, but I like it. Couple steps in the right direction, and sure enough, I think we can continue to climb in Bitcoin. We haven't had that crazy day yet in Bitcoin where we're talking about like 10% or 8 to 10% or so. So I'm getting prepared for that there, guys. A nice little downtick. We'll take a little bit off. We'll do the exact same as last time, 20 to be exact. Half of our position right there as it's slight downtick in IBIT, my brother.
All right, let's show yesterday's workout while we're still waiting for... Hold on.
Watch that one. Watch that workout.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Oh, this is the chiropractor guy. Let's do this. All right, so we got into some military presses yesterday, guys. Look at this. Some strict military presses. Love these. And then take advantage of the fact that you're on the rack.
Bang.
Throw in some weighted. And then these are my favorite. You ever done these?
Snatch?
Cleans?
Yeah, cleans, yeah.
Hey, and there's yesterday the game in the box. There's the box with us yesterday, doing our thing live, and then this is our post, obviously talking a little bit about Jensen, but there's yesterday's workout. Can I tell you something, man?
Yeah, you can.
The descent here, to be quite honest with you, harder than the press. Because what I'm trying to focus on the most...
The control down?
I'm trying to focus, exactly. I'm trying to focus on rotating my my shoulder blades inwards and then catching the weight.
So you have less stress on your actual shoulder?
Exactly,
so, yeah.
and that's where the actual initiation motion should come from. So
it.
yesterday's workout was a banger. We had to work out at a gym that I don't typically go to, which was nice to kind of get a feel for some of the new equipment.
New gym?
New gym. Well, it's the one up here, not the one that I go to typically in the morning, but it's like 100 meters just north of there.
Hey, and Bitcoin to the downside.
Bitcoin's killing it? In a good or bad way?
Well, I mean, I'm short. It's been pretty good all day. We take a little bit more off right there. So, yeah, not too bad there, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go, baby. Continuing to watch here, guys. I'm not going to take any trades at the moment because I'm taking the IPO. So I definitely want to have it on the screen. because, well, it's an expensive IPO, and I feel like it's gonna move dollars at a time.
It is.
Like, yeah. So I need to be keeping this one pretty
inevitable.
close, right? So we're gonna keep a close eye on that. TikTok selfie not wearing a bra, says Devin. I don't know. I don't wear bras, brother. But yeah, cool story there. Continuing to watch Poet. It's taking out 1950. I'm not going to take Poet, guys, because I definitely want to keep my eye on the IPO. But there it is. It took out that area high. Now, it's not as aggressive of a breakout as I was anticipating. Look for a clean move above 1950. Right now, it's kind of showing 1944 again, so some more weakness despite the fact that it's been putting in an ascending wedge. Taylor Batty's been asking me about AEHL all day. This is a former convict that we've been watching for a period of multiple days, as you can see there on the chart, AEHL. Look, brother, I mean, I don't take these south of VWAP. You did. You're well in the money on it. I know where you're taking from, right? You're basically right around 375 or so, because that's when you started asking me, and you just got a 5 print there. So that's a good move. Now, it does look like it's going to reject VWAP here, at least initially, down into 440. That's a prior halt level of 441. So let me know what you want to do, but I always anticipate if you're going to take it long, south of the volume weighted average price on these names, these small cap gapper names, you're likely going to find a little resistance there, and that's what it looks like it's kind of doing at the moment. So good luck to you. I know you're already printing on it, so shout out to you, my man.
Dude, look at this here.
What's up?
Look at this thing.
Is that the way you were talking about?
Yeah, they just
that's great. What's the name of the company, man? That's what we need to know,
Overland
right?
or something like that. Overland AI. But there's another group in here that's involved with this Africa, this AI military exercise. Overland AI. Yeah.
Overland AI.
Yeah, there's.
Remember, I was talking about Shield AI. That was the one that, what's it called? CNBC gave it like their 50 disruptor list or something, 40 disruptor list, something like that. And they make that drone that tracks other drones. Shoots down drone swarms called Shield AI. And the reason we even talked about it is because it's an autonomous use of targeting. And that's been such a contentious issue at the moment. But when you speak to these like industry experts, like your Palmer Luckies and Joe Lonsdale and all these other guys who work in that space, they basically say the only way to take out drone swarms is through autonomous targeting. Human can't do it, because they're not fast enough, according to what's being said. So it kind of keeps bringing in that contentious narrative of automatic targeting and how AI plays into this whole thing. So interesting take. I want to show that Shield AI thing in a minute here, but just still keeping my eye, guys, as we are almost at 1 o'clock. Keeping my eye on CBRS. We're showing a tap of $350, having paired 3.75 million shares or thereabouts, a little bit less than that. So. Yeah, that's kind of IPO trading. You gotta sit down.
130. Did you watch that? Did you watch that Piers Morgan bit with Ryan Cohen?
I saw bits and pieces of it because a lot of like little clips made their way onto social media. Give me the take.
No, I didn't watch it. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah. So
no, it should be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be that. Yeah.
What do you think about Piers Morgan? What are your thoughts?
It's a love-hate relationship with that guy. Sometimes I think he kind of pushes his agenda too much, to the point where he's like, it's like, dude, you're trying too hard. You're wrong, right? Like, you're just trying so hard to be right when you're not. I don't know what am I to say with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, mixed bag with Piers.
Same. I would have to actually take that same opinion on him.
Mixed bag with Piers.
And I like the fact that, hey, he brings on a lot of people that other people wouldn't take the chance to bring on.
Super clown.
Right?
People are saying.
Right. Yeah, we're kind of getting Piers toxic moron, says Stubborn. Oh my days. Homeless God doesn't like him either. Yeah, a lot of
people don't like
Piers
him.
Who? Oof. He is an Arsenal fan. I know that, Benton. I do know that. Yes, he is. Yes, I do know that he is an Arsenal fan. He talks a lot about that. I think he actually talked about the story when he saw Mikel Arteta at a restaurant, and he went up, and Arteta was, I think, dining with his wife, and he was kind of like, a little bit embarrassed to interrupt their dinner, but he did, and Arteta was like super nice about it or whatever. So it's interesting. Didn't Clarkson smack him on the head on a plane or something? I know they don't like each other, right? And you're talking about the what's it called? That car guy. What was that car? show called on BBC.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know. No.
Yeah, the chat will know there in a sec, man. But I think that's.
Oh, was that the guy who? Oh, Top Gear. Yeah.
Yes, Office
I think
Depot.
I remember Top Gear.
Jeremy Clarkson. Yes. Yeah. Shout out to D as well. I hear that they had beef, but hey, man. Jeremy Clarkson is an interesting guy. Come on. Like, he is a very outspoken individual,
Who's
right?
that one guy that
Why are you laughing, Neil? I'm sorry, brother. You gotta bring a stadium buddy with you next time. If you know, you know.
Neil's dying over there, brother. You should just go, man. Quick, I'll hit the keys for you.
That's crazy. That's not even allowed.
Yeah, that isn't allowed. No,
that's not even allowed.
No, in all seriousness, guys, this is why we get out. I'm glad that we took out a little bit more than half here on the IBIT. It was a pullback. I mentioned this on multiple occasions. How deep was it going to be? We took some off, and then boom, what a skyrocket on
Pair
IBIT.
volume just ripped.
Did it?
Pair volume just ripped from 3 3/4 to 4 1/3 million.
Top 350.
Yeah,
Bitcoin
the top
flying.
didn't change, Joey, but the paired volume ripped up.
Find some coin. Okay, so coin definitely got that break. Oh, not even yet. Okay, so tomorrow, today's trade tomorrow, is that what Sean called it? I don't want to.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's trade today, there it is. So here it is. I think it's going to be coin. I'm going to be looking for this for a continuation here. This thing's been beat up. It's down substantially off of the lows.
It's open. It's open.
Whoa, what did it just rip to? It's at like 370, bro. I don't even know if I caught a fill. Oh, I did. Oh, yeah. It's halted.
It won't give me the freaking fill, man.
I halted up. Yes, let's go. What did I get? A fill at 350. Let's go. Oh. I'm halted, dude. I don't know about you.
I'm in at 350.
So am I.
I have 385. That's the halt right now. Oh, my
390,
days.
baby. Let's go.
Oh, my days.
Woo-hoo. Oh, I don't want to do that. I got to get prepared to take some out here. I told you, mentioned we're going to sit on half. Big time move right there.
Oh,
390
my
tap.
days.
There it is. You got it up on the screen. Let's go. It's open. This is what we're talking about, Sharif.
Get it, Joey.
Let's go, baby. CBRS as we climb higher. I'm prepared, man. I'm prepared to take
So I just want to say something. I clicked flatten half and it didn't work. So script orders did not work on this occasion. I was trying to take out half and it didn't allow me to. So
I'm
Go ahead, Joe.
Marketable limit right now for half, prepared to take a little bit more. Tap at 390. You got to be able to hit this. Bang. Let's go. You see that entry. You get that entry at 350. Wish Katina Man was right there. He's probably turning in his seat right now. He's absolutely devastated to miss out on something like that. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man.
Joe,
I'm sorry, brother. But I know my guy. Don't worry. I love the whole Katina family. But he would absolutely love to be trading this one as you catch $35 just like that. Be quiet. Be calm.
Tranquille. As Neil said, tranquille, right? You gotta keep.
How many times a day do you say there's no tranquille?
No tranquille. When the Katina Man's here, there's definitely no tranquille. And usually with me as well, but I'm a little bit tired today, as you can tell. All right, so I've thrown out a market on open order for a sell for half the shares. Let's keep an eye on where this one is trading. The halt level, guys, we halted at 385 and we halted 1 second into the trade.
That is crazy.
Okay, halted at 1 p.m. and 1 second. So obviously the earliest we'll be open is 1:05:01. We're going to keep you apprised of that, of course, and we're going to keep you apprised of the top. Thankfully, this trades on the NASDAQ. We'll be able to see the theoretical auction price. But I have to tell you about this.
Tell us.
Because, Joey, we can't just become a one-trick pony. There goes AIIO. Pardon me?
Tap's dropping.
Okay, calm down, bro.
I'm calm, man. I just
AIIO into 569. AIIO is absolutely ripping with a flat top break at 475. It's into 575 right now. It's really going in one direction only, and that is upwards. There's 585. I don't know where the halt limit is on AIIO, but it's extremely strong. Keep your eye out on this one. There's my man, Big Rudy Smasher. He's dropping 5 in the chat, Joey. Hell yeah. CBRS got in and out. Sharif, you're cut, bro. Come on, man. Don't cut me off, man. I'm just trying to make a couple of bucks here. And Joey's sitting there tripping me out, fixated on the top. He's getting me to look at this thing, and I don't even want to look at it because we're throwing in, Joey, market on open order. Let's see how this one does. Top dropping to 375, 379 now. We're going to keep a close eye out on this one. Let's not forget the earliest this will be open, 1:05:01 is 1:03:30. So we got another minute and a half, Joey, before this one can open up. We're going to see what we get, and we're not going to get upset.
Oh, top's dropping about $10 or so. So you got to be prepared to get out of this one relatively quick. Yeah, other than that, man.
Oh, he means my cut. Sorry.
Yeah, you're cut.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought he meant I was cut. Yeah, I was.
No, like you're cut because he does that. Whatever he makes, he sends over that little
Joey,
bit of cut. Yeah.
AIIO is halted up at 628. We're just going to load this up quickly. AIIO halted 628 halt time. 103.36. This is really ripping up now. Be on the lookout here. We're continuing to watch here. CBRS, we're waiting for this one to open up. Current time, 104.16. We have less than a minute before this one theoretically could be open, right? The halt levels, halt times, as we know, come in waves of 5 minutes. Joey, take over for a sec so I can just set up my orders.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're waiting for this, guys. We're prepared. As you can see, the top printing at $370 right now. So dropping about 15 bucks from where it was before, but that's all right. We'll continue to be patient. It's holding up right now, and we have about a minute or a couple of seconds, I think, Sharif, until this opens back up.
10 seconds,
Yeah, 10 seconds here. We're going to get prepared, guys. Let's rock and roll. Let's stock and roll as it's about to in 5 or 2, 1. Oh, whoa, what a drop there.
Wow, I break even on that.
Yeah, wow, what a drop.
Big drop on that.
Hold down.
Huge drop.
Holy cow.
Watch out for the move back up. Watch out for the move back up here. Here we go, into 350 we go.
All right, man. Oh, I don't know about that one there. Oh, we
333 halt down.
We got out of that, luckily.
Attaboy, Joey. Attaboy. What a crazy drop on that.
Crazy.
That was a big move there. Yeah, that's why I was trying to get out half initially there, but there you go, 350, and it's going to halt down into 333. All sorts of weak. Be on the lookout here. 330 incoming. It's 308.93. Halt down. 308. 03, halt down. What a move down for CBRS. I didn't actually lose anything on that.
That's
funny
good,
enough,
man.
eh? Like, I didn't lose any money on that.
That's good.
That's amazing.
Adara's like, woo, she got a little something on the shorts.
Continuing to watch AIIO into 628. It goes the halt time, guys, 103.36. Continuing to watch this one. Let's see what the top is. It's showing 650, so it's already 25 pennies above the level. Be on the lookout here, AIIO. Watch out for this one as there goes CBRS. It is trying to reclaim here above 350, Joey. All sorts of zigging and zag here on CBR.
What was your out on that? Oh, you got right out at 350.
I didn't lose anything on this.
You're flat on that one there.
I'm exactly flat on that one.
Yeah, okay, that's good, man. That's good. That was absolutely ugly.
Still up big on the day, though, man, with the other trades. But, you know, didn't do much on this one. Continuing to watch here. Looking for this one to open up in about 2 minutes. AIIO. Keep your eye on this one.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely, I mean, what a open up there. Top dropping. That's not what you want to see. That halt up at 385 would have been absolutely gangster on that one, but we're fortunate enough. We walk away with a little coffee money, and I haven't even drank any coffee here today. So, yeah, that's not too bad of a play, guys. I mean, Adara took $35, so maybe Adara looed that, I believe, and then got it. And then you got out right before the halt.
360 seller, monster seller at 360.
There you go, nice, Adara. Hopefully you crushed that one there because it's really starting to climb back higher here, guys. We'll wait for some more data, but I think that's it. I don't think I'm going to be trading this one. It's extremely volatile. What's that?
Just hold on for
Yeah, I wasn't going to send it to you. Yeah. I was going to keep going on. So congratulations to Adara. Whenever she feels free, when we can send it over to her. She could show her trade. We could show her trade. She's going to do her thing. But a big-time move back up to 371 here on CBRS as it's continuing to climb. You had to be patient. But who's going to hold this $25 against them? You had to be a little bit more patient on that one. So, yeah, not too bad of a look. I mean, I was already laughing to the bank on that, and sure enough,
well, we just took a nice one there. I doubled my position on that, by the way.
How many did you take on that? I mean, sorry. But,
yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to say how many
much?
I take. I took about $7 on double the position there. So, yeah, we're going to continue to watch a little bit over here.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah. Well, we're going to continue to watch here, Joey. 360 buyer looking for another big move. 360 buyer continuing to hold up here. There's a buyer and has been at 360, but there was also an aggressive seller at 380. So be on the lookout for that. How's AIIO doing? We should be opening up. No, we are not going to open up. It's 308. So, yeah, this one will open up now. There it is. Opened up. AIIO dropping aggressively into 6. Look for a 6 hold here. 594 buyer. There's a 594 buyer. This is really ripping up here. Watch out for the loss of 6. Continuing to watch here, Joey.
Oh, there
looking
it
for
goes,
a bigger move back up. There goes AIIO. We're taking this one as well. Give me my money. Seller at 50. Took double the position there. Here it comes into 71. There's 69 again. Give me my money, man. Let's go into AIIO. 678. That's a high 687.
Tranquile, my guy. Tranquile.
Hold on now, man. We're trading small caps now, my boy. 688 high. Watch out for the 7 rejection now on AIIO. 688. There's a big seller net into 90. We go. Wow, whoa. Joey. 741 on AIIO. 761. I should have held a piece for the dream there, but that was still a good trade. I took double the position we took last time. AIIO absolutely him right now. That's about a little bit less than 50 pennies on that. Could have done a little bit better on AIO. Continue to watch out. How's this one doing? Back into 370 we go. I want to see a move above 380 here because we know we did reject at 380 that time. So this is interesting. If we can take out 380, we know there's a seller of note, but we also know there's a buyer of note at 360. There's 370 again. Look for continuation. 74. Not quite into that mid 70s level. Rejecting at about 72. So continuing to watch that one as well, Joey.
All right, good stuff there, man. I'm thinking about taking another attempt here on CBRS, but it's printing lower highs here, guys, so watch out for the short potentially on that one. Hey, man, we'll take it for what it is. It would have been nice to be up there. That would have been probably my best all-time trade if we did get that open up anything higher, but sure enough, gaps down all the way at $367, $20, and then just absolutely tank city after that. So it is what it is, guys. We're still sitting in some Tesla. I don't have anything left really on that one. So we'll keep our eyes on CBRS. There's Tesla starting to bounce. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to our entry price again. I could trail this out. It's broken the volume weighted average price. I'm just more or less holding it on for you guys. And then IBIT was our nice little short to the downside bang. A nice move there. So yeah, good luck there. I'm happy for Sharif. You got $7 on that one. Adara caught $35 on that one. So a lot of fun stuff there. So yeah.
It's going to lose 360.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't have any shorts.
There's a buyer at 360. That's the thing.
I don't have any shorts for that thing, nor will I be.
You got to get locates for that. Yeah,
exactly.
I think Luis Barbado actually took that short as well. So shout out to Luis because he was pumped.
I'm going to reload my.
Oh no, Joey lost 360 and all hell is breaking loose down to 350 now. Be on the lookout here, guys. A lot of zigging and zagging. I'm just going to make sure that I have no active orders here so that I don't get triggered into anything. What price action is this? I kind of like it, man. It's kind of like trading small caps, right? They're moving dollars instead of pennies at a time here. But CBRS, $50 buyer, but we're into 51.01. Somebody buying at 51, but it feels like that buyer is going to get clipped because this one is dropping pretty aggressively. This is a pretty aggressive buyer here, pardon me, at 51, into 52. Aggressive buyer here, guys. But don't forget, 60 was support. So now it could act locally as resistance. Let's see. It's 58. There's 60. 60 rejecting. They're into 64 it goes. So no one really selling here at 60. It's above the ask as well. Watch out, guys. A bit of a range now. You got definitely an $80 seller, as we saw initially, and you have a $50 buyer. And then last time around, they were buying at 51s. So there was a buyer of note at 51 as well. Here comes 70 again, 367 and change. A lot of aggression here. There's 370 again on CBRS. A big relative to, of course, the IPO price itself. So we'll see if this one can clear 370. Now, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of time. Once it clears something, you'll find it at 373, 374 pretty quick. So make sure you are kind of factoring that whole price action there into your whole analysis. By the way, let's not forget AIIO halted 1309.42. It is currently 1307. So the earliest this will be open is 314.42. So we got another minute and a half here on AIIO. Continuing to watch CBRS though, Joey, as it tries to track back into that 370 area, rejecting 370 multiple times here on the 1 minute chart. Keep your eye out on that. Wow, a lot of messages in the chat. Looks like some people made a lot of money, some people lost a lot of money. That's kind of what this thing is. I just wish I was able to get a little bit out at the top there, but so what it is, man. That's kind of just how that works, Joe. So continuing to watch for AIIO, because this one has become insanely parabolic. It's the #1 gapper in the market now, up 191.5%. And it is slated to open in, I wouldn't say about a minute, a little bit less than a minute now, about 40 seconds or so. We're going to have to see how this one does. 761, price halt, 765, top right now. HQBIF is up 642%. Says gamma squeeze. We'll see, brother. We'll see. You never really want to just, have too much of a bias. A small bias is good, but especially on these ones that are halting, you just got to trade the price action.
I don't even think it's optionable. I don't think you can gamma.
AIIO or CBRS?
AA. Is it
AIIO? No, it's not. Yeah. Well,
is it
top now showing 770. AIIO, pardon me.
Yeah,
it's open. It's open. 7. There comes 91.
Not optional.
There is 8. There is the move through 8, and there it is again. Joseph Options taking it out here. How'd that even happen?
Someone said they just made 100K.
That's crazy. Break even on this trade as well? No way. Looking for a hold above 8. Let's see if it dips down. There's 8 again. Take over for a second, brother. I just have to concentrate here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting after that head down. Just getting going, starting to string something really experienced. Anyways, aside from that, like CBRS, man, come on, man. I thought we would have a little bit more fun with that. It's all Sam Altman's fault, right there, guys. So yeah, a nice move right there. To the top side, man, this $35 ITM. Way to get out right at the Halt parameters too, Adara. I was seeing that. I'm like, oh, do I just get out? I had the play on a 370. I never posted the order, and they're just absolutely ripped. So yeah, nice look.
Well, thank you. I was just going to say, I think like a lot of it too, with how spready this was, I basically just treated it like normal spread, and the way it was acting at 385 diced me out. Like it just made me really sketched, which is why that was.
You just got out.
Yeah,
right,
well,
nice.
half, and then I got stopped out the other half for profit when we reopened.
Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, after the open, nice. Yeah, good stuff, man. I mean, that was fun. If there was any form of continuation, it would have been absolutely monstrous. So good stuff there, guys. I hope everyone, regardless if you lost money now, you can just gain a little bit of intel and just some experience trading some of these IPOs. I think the SpaceX and the Anthropic are going to be completely different. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of demand.
I'm going to buy that, though. I'm just going to buy and hold it. Yeah.
Same. Not all at once, though. I'll start with half, and then if it continuously sells, then if it finds any form of a dip or below the IPO price, which CoreWeave is yet to do, right? So one out of all the ones that we were talking about that happened last year, CoreWeave is the only one that really hasn't broken the IPO low, but I'm going to be involved. I'm getting prepared. That's why I'm stacking a little bit of cash on the side for that SpaceX and Anthropic IPO.
Yeah, man. But we're going to lose 350 here on CBRS.
Big time.
There's 351. Remember, there was a 351 buyer, and there has been, and they're getting clipped. There's 350. Here we go. It looks like we're going to lose 350 back into 50 when we go, and zigging and zagging here at dollars at a time. 350.10. There's a buyer at 350.10, but it just feels like moments away until that flat bottom break gets decimated. But hey, whoever's buying at 350 is defending this one pretty staunchly. It is about $1 spread at the moment. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2. Keep your eye out on that. But it does have lower highs. But it's also a range, right? I mean, it did breach 70 on occasions, moved up to 80, but the majority of the range is between 70 and 50. Definitely a lot closer to 50 now. Very happy with this trade on AIIO. Got in initially here, broke even on the initial entry. I don't know why. I think I fat fingered on that hockey. Got back in at 833, and then it ripped up into almost 9. So we got about 60 penny winner there on AIIO for the full amount, by the way. I didn't want the beak along the way. And here comes 8 again. Seller at 8, ripping through 8. Possibly an 8 hold here. Let's see if the buyers step in into the low 8s, looking for a possible move back up. It is a 920 high on the current day. Candle high 920, and then low 727. You're going to have to square that kind of circle with given the amount of the range that we have there. Oops, sorry about that. I was about to get in here, but I didn't like what I saw because nobody was buying at $8, and we're just dipping down here. Yeah, I don't think this is the right entry on AIIO. I'm going to let this one go until it sets up a little bit better. Look out for $7, possibly VWAP there, or sorry, $7 support, but VWAP far removed from the current price action, man. VWAP is showing 450. The price action is 784 right now. The 10 EMA on the 5 also substantially below where we're trading, 614. We're showing 780 right now. So a lot of action there. And there goes CBRS through 350,
yes, through
340. Blood in the streets, Joey. CBRS, though, I believe has a low of day of around 325 and change. Watch out for support at 3.25. There could be buyers stepping in there. Also, obviously, 330 needs to be in your purview, just simply on the fact that it is the $10 level. So.
Yeah. It's getting absolutely smoked right now.
Smoke on a pancake.
So is NVDA, right? Like NVDA off of the highs, consolidates for quite some time. Now you're at 332. Bitcoin after this engulfing print starting to sell. And look at the market really start to curl over here, guys. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the reason, but maybe something else stepping in. I know Apple was selling a little bit. We'll head over to our watch list and just see how the overall market is reacting. Man, oh man, I wish I actually limit on open sell that. That would have been $20. Anyways, it is what it is, man. That was fun while it lasted. Let's head over to our watch list and see what we got going on. And we'll start at AAPL. We'll head over to the 5-minute time frame there, guys. Lots of volume kicking in. You can see that off of that, the news catalyst that Adara brought us, OpenAI looking into potentially suing Apple here. So not too good of a look. We can get into a little bit more detail momentarily on this one. I'm sure I'm going to pull it up. See me, I'm report Eli Lilly. Whereas OpenAI lawyers are actively working with an outside legal team firm on a range of options against Apple, so not too good of a look right there. So AAPL, Sam Altman and company. We'll send it over to Adara. Sorry, I'm not plugged in.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying. I can definitely provide more info here on the Apple story. So basically, as Joe mentioned, there are some reports suggesting that OpenAI is looking into a legal team specifically because they're saying that when they made this deal with Apple, of course, to embed the ChatGPT technology into the new iPhones, they're saying that certain financial expectations were, I guess, given to OpenAI, and they're now saying that Apple did not fulfill said financial expectations. So, which is kind of an odd argument when you consider the fact that this whole rollout has not even, to my knowledge, fully occurred yet. But either way here, guys, OpenAI is saying, hey, we want to look into legal action. We don't think Apple has met their financial duty to us. Whatever that financial duty was is kind of unclear as far as I've seen. And either way here, yeah, they're looking to sue. Could be trouble in paradise for OpenAI. And I think also this is significant for Apple because we know that Apple has historically struggled with AI. So if this partnership phrase could be a bad look going forward, I hope that provides you guys a little bit more context.
Yeah, I don't think that's the smartest play from Sam Altman Company because we already know that Siri is going to be Gemini is going to be integrated into Siri, and if you're going to just be dropping big, hey, we're going to totally drop ChatGPT and OpenAI and just work with Google.
Yeah, what does the story tell you? What's your takeaway from this story, if you believe the facts?
Well, think about it. So Sam Altman missed on monthly active users, the revenue not coming in exactly how he wanted to, or how the company wanted it to. Now they're going to be looking to sue them for Apple not meeting its financial obligations.
You think Apple's strapped for cash?
Hell no. It's the other way around.
Why do you think they're backing out?
It's the other way around.
But ask yourself why you think they're backing out. They've got to be backing out for a reason. They're not going to do things.
They may not like Sam Altman.
Or
Gemini.
Or
they got something.
The fact that ChatGPT may not be the premier model, what they call frontier model now. Right? Are they looking past ChatGPT for another model, or have they developed something internally and kept it super secret I think that that's probably a little bit less likely. I think the more likely is they're probably going to work with Google.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I don't think this is the best thing for Sam Altman and company.
No, and I agree.
To do that,
I agree.
to do that, because then it just makes them want to sway towards Google's Gemini even more.
I 100% agree. I think this is less a bad news for Apple, and it shows that Apple here has options.
It's nothing for Apple.
Money-wise, I understand.
Absolutely. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like if
we're on the same page.
It's like to me, this feels like Apple's like, we've got kind of a lot of people knocking on our door. We're not really a fan of you anymore, Sam. So
exactly.
That's kind of how I feel about that. And given the fact that it just got bought up and is now only down 1/3%, so right back into 298.
Can you pull up CBRS on your charts here? I can't even pull it up.
No. It doesn't work first day with IB. Don't ask why. Because you don't need to, well, here it is. Click refresh, because mine just worked when I clicked refresh. 330 about to get lost here on CBRS. It is bleeding down pretty aggressively here. What a move down. Fantastic entry on this one for all of us. 550 halts up quicker than you can like at 385, but none of us were able to get anything out. So AIIO also dropping pretty aggressively here. Watch out for 6 to 6.5. That's where we were originally in. There looks like there's a 6.5 buyer here, but we're still putting in lower highs. See possibly a reclaim of 7. Could kind of change that a little bit. Nice 5K in one trade is great. Shout out to J Tom 5093. Great trade by you, brother, and good risk management there. I wish I was able to get some out at the top there, Joseph Options, but was not to be. We tried to get out half, but the flatten key didn't work out.
Yeah, I know. I messed up a little bit on that one, because if I limited on open at 70, we would have got that, and then maybe I just would have rode and then sell, limit on open, sell, that is. But anyways, hey man, we learned our lesson. We make sure everything's it. I'm just looking at the statistics here on the day. We started things off with ONDS. That's going to be our only blemish on the session here, Sharif.
All right.
ONDS, yeah, we'll take it, man. ONDS, we traded 4 names. 3 of them are green. ONDS is red. And I mean, it's coffee money, which we made here on CRBS, right? So other than that, nice little short initially, and then we take a 1 for 3, so we're shooting 33% on that one. TSLL took us a multiple attempts for us to get rocking and rolling on that, our second best performer here on the day. So TSLL, not too bad of a look. We're still holding on to some right now, but it's really selling the market off. And we don't have much. We'll get out break even in small potatoes. Now, as for IBIT, you guys, a couple attempts short. Those worked good, but then squeezed, and I'm glad that we got out and just not frustrating, just kind of keeping a cool head, because I'm like, oh, why isn't this selling on from a day-to-day basis? But because it typically does, right? You have these strong up moves, but we do have some catalysts behind us that are supporting this move higher. And then look at the volume really start to kick in right here, and we climb all the way to 46.53. So the long-term accounts really starting to like this, especially on today's session. Even if we're a couple dollars off of the all-time high on NVDA, we have Robinhood climbing as well too. Now, I was just thinking about something, and it slipped my mind. Oh, what was it? Anyways, the overall market, it'll come to me here momentarily. Let's get all out of TSLL here, because I mean, I got to trail this at some point. It's just going to come right back in. We're only a couple of pennies away. So we're all out. We're flat. We tried to hold this for an all-dayer for you guys, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But a nice trend to the top side. Our top tick was up here at 1720. No, this isn't creatine. This is tea. Just a tea bag. Yeah. Just a good old English breakfast tea.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like
I definitely need something like that today. I'm going to go home and straight to bed.
You're going to take a nap when you get home?
I'm going straight home. We're not going to go to work. I'm not going to the gym. I'm going straight home and straight to bed.
I think one thing will change is the gym.
No, I didn't go to the gym this morning.
I could see you going.
No, I'm going straight home. I promise you. Yeah, I promise you. All right, let's read a little bit of this Apple story dropping here on, what is this website called again? In Street Insider. So it says, shares hit session low. They're down 1/3, not 1. After Bloomberg reported the company's partnership with OpenAI has become strained with the AI startup preparing possible legal action. OpenAI lawyers are working with an outside legal firm on options that could be executed in the near future. According to people familiar with the matter, the actions under consideration include sending Apple a notice alleging breach of contract without necessarily filing a lawsuit initially. The 2-year-old partnership, which integrated ChatGPT into Apple software, has failed to, listen to this, has failed to meet OpenAI's expectations. The AI startup anticipated the collaboration would drive more users to subscribe to its chatbot and expected a deeper integration across more Apple apps and prime placement within the Siri Assistant. So it looks like Apple wasn't giving them the time of the day, and so they're upset about that. Look at this. AI startup anticipated the collaboration would drive more users to subscribe to its chatbot, and it expected a deeper integration across more Apple apps and prime placement within the Siri Assistant. Apple's use of OpenAI's technology across its operating systems remain limited, and the features can be hard to find. According to the report, OpenAI enlisted the outside legal firm in recent days to address the situation. The partnership was announced as part of Apple's efforts to incorporate AI capabilities into its products, but the limited implementation has left OpenAI dissatisfied with the arrangement's commercial benefits. So it looks like as if OpenAI feels a little bit aggrieved here by Apple's actions. So we'll see how this all does. Apple getting bought right back up into basically almost yesterday's closing print. To go green, it's got to get above $299. So we'll see how this all ends up going down. But I got to tell you, I think this is worse for Altman than it is for Apple, just based on the fact that Apple is the one that was supposed to be the one delayed with AI. So you think if they really down on their luck, they didn't have options, they wouldn't be canceling a deal like this. They'd be integrating it to no end. But the fact that they may have more options now probably bothers.
I just don't see any downside here for Apple on this, right? It's like, oh, okay.
It's algorithmic buying and selling, right? You can't really expect
Yeah, exactly. And watch tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Friday. Watch it get bought right back up, 298. It's getting bought up right now.
Well, that's what I was saying.
It's already. Yeah, bang Apple, says Gorev there. Bang Apple. So a big pop up there. And I mean, listen, that volatility spike down was immediately bet by some form of buying. Ooh. So what a lit grab. Yeah, that's all it was a liquidity grab off of those lows. So, yeah, I mean, bang, you breached that. So maybe this is going to be enough room. Watch it climb even a little bit higher. Now it's just in partnership with Gemini. I wouldn't be surprised. Sam Altman in a whole world of trouble right now. And his company hasn't even gone public yet. Oh. People calling him a sketchy individual, a liar. He's in court now with Elon Musk. That's not working too good. I mean, it might work out for him, but anyways, you're spending all this money before you even IPO, and then now Apple doesn't even essentially want anything to do with you. But I still have it kind of integrated here, right? Like you still on your iPhone have the ability to hit the ChatGPT button there. I wouldn't be surprised if at one point that is eliminated.
This is what I was trying to tell you. So will Elon win his case? Okay, this is less nuanced than the poly market one. The poly market asks more specific questions because winning a case here could mean nothing. He could get a win but not be awarded any money.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if he gets the win, they don't revert it back to a charity. Like he could lose but also win at the same
exactly.
time,
Like he could get a couple bucks back and then sure enough they get to.
But look at this, Joe. Before the trial started, look at this. He had a 60% chance, almost 57.3 was, I think, as 58 was where it was. And then when Altman went on the stand, look at it, dump to the low there of 26.8. It's recovered somewhat, but we're chart traders here. These are lower lows and lower highs, right? This has got kind of the nuanced question. So this is Kalshi. Let's check Poly Market because I know Poly Market
up too.
Well, they have different questions on Poly Market. As I was saying, it's a bit more nuanced there. So let's type in Elon, see what kind of questions we get. Elon tweets, no, that's not it. So let's see Elon, Sam Altman, or pull that. There, will they settle? Will Elon win his case? I think that I was pretty sure these were more nuanced. This is showing the same thing, basically, about 30 some odd percent. At the highs, though, wasn't even close to the other one. The other one had it 58. This one went to 51. So, and that's what I was trying to say. Altman, when he took the stand, ironically enough, people would have probably predicted the opposite. It actually helped his case. People said that he was well composed. He was dodgy at times. He did not want to answer the question when he was asked specifically about, what was he asked specifically about? Whether, they asked him specifically, like, Elon said that you stole a charity. What's your response back to that? He's like, I don't even know how to wrap my head around that question. So he essentially dodged the question. So a lot of people were thinking, well, maybe that might not bode well for him. But hey, man, these prediction markets have been pretty accurate lately when it comes to this kind of stuff. Right?
I agree. Yeah, I mean, other than that, CBRS bouncing off that 323 level. I was thinking that was going to be the case. It's holding that wick low, but I can't pull up any data on this. I could probably do it on. I wonder if TradingView allows us to. Okay, so nice Ramin. Ramin jump starting. What is running from Ramin to hop into the portfolio?
Astis, maybe?
Yeah, it was something along those lines. Let's pull up TradingView to see if we can get some a better look on this one, because there's so much wicks on P. Oh, see, it doesn't even have it yet, Sharif.
What's up?
First trust. Yeah, no, it doesn't even have Cerebras yet. It has the crypto vehicle that you guys were talking about not too long ago, but nothing that I would want to pull up here and display to you guys. So yeah, other than that, man, it's just chill. Let's see what we got. We got another 27 minutes here, and then you're going to catch me with Neil for the final hour. I mean, we can put on a couple more trades. We have the risk to do so. We get a little top up. That's going to be my narrative here on the session. So let's be patient and wait for that to come into play. Is it going to be CBRS? Is it going to be IBIT? I would like to take a long here on Bitcoin, but we are slightly extended on the intraday session, 46.18. And then Tesla coming right back towards that consolidation low. But what we do have holding up is NVDA. Not too bad there, guys.
Well said, Joey. Well said. All right, we'll start the news. We'll read through this stuff. But I know you guys are yelling about AEHL, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. As we do the news, we'll keep an eye on said halter. What is this? Sorry, give me one sec, guys. Oh, my days. Okay. So AEHL, sorry, guys, about that. Just focusing on something. Yeah, so this one is, it looks like it was halted down, or it's right back up into 545. It's back above VWAP, but it's still kind of rejecting that 6.25. So be careful here with AEHL. But let's talk about Cisco, because they had a monster blowout report this morning. Just go with that. Revenue, $15.84 billion, beating the $15.56. That's a 12% increase on the top line number year over year. But the real story was the guidance. Q4 guide crushed expectations. They're guiding $1.16 to $1.18 EPS. Street was looking for $1.07 on revenue of $16.7 to $16.9 billion. That's about $1 billion higher than what the Street was looking for, $15.82. That's a major upside reset there with AI infrastructure momentum now undeniable. In fact, Cisco's booked $5.3 billion in AI/hyperscaler orders. That's a year-to-date figure. They also raised their expectations to $9 billion in terms of orders. That's from 5, so almost doubling that number. The expected fiscal year, I should say, AI revenue moved from $4 billion from $3 billion, kind of giving Wall Street the hard numbers it wanted, man. Job cuts as well. We never really want to, be happy about this or anything like that, but they're gonna lay off about 5% of their workforce. It's about a little less than 4,000 roles, showing that that classic AI era capital reallocation. They're trimming costs and they're shifting that money obviously into AI spend to build out their capacity. The risk here, Joey, is after a near vertical move to fresh highs, expectation resets sharply higher, right? That makes execution for the company critical from here. Otherwise, if they don't meet that guide, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be kind of the opposite of an earnings report. Bottom line, this is a narrative re-rating quarter, not just an earnings beat. Thoughts?
Yeah, there's a couple of positive things going on here for Cisco, the once largest company in the stock market. Now,
oh yeah, true.
Right? I mean, I don't even know if I was born. I think it was the 2000s for sure.
Pretty sure.
But I wasn't aware about financial literacy at that time. Anyways, aside from Cisco dodging some supply chain issues, their constraints. And then we also have what Sharif was talking about, the layoffs and just in taking that money that they'd be paying their employees and investing it within AI. They have a couple big deals amongst the hyperscalers, which is extremely important. So it's a good recovery here in Cisco, and a lot of analysts liking what's going on here. You see the price target being raised. You see upgrades coming Cisco's way. So a nice uptick, but slowly starting to come in off of that gap fill. Big time up move here, 20% after that report, but slowly giving some up. Still up 14% though.
Bloom Energy back into all-time highs, baby. Let's talk a little NVIDIA. So I know there was a headline this morning, of course, about Jensen and the go-ahead there from the Commerce Department with respect to selling some of these H200s to China. But as I kind of alluded to this morning, my understanding was that he had been given the go-ahead back in January to sell these chips, the H200 specifically, and it was a Chinese regulator that was essentially trying to promote a domestic alternative vis-a-vis Huawei and prevented, you know, the ByteDances, the Alibabas, the Tencents from actually buying these H200s en masse. That kind of report today just makes me more confused than I already was. So I'm not really sure how to square that circle. In any event, Jensen Huang confirmed that President Trump asked him to join the China summit, kind of elevating NVIDIA from just a chip company to a strategic asset. We also talked about the Board of Investment and Trade, a very much underreported story. Jensen could be featuring that as well, hence his presence there. The headline implication, though, is NVIDIA is clearly being positioned as a central player in any future U.S.-China trade tech negotiations. For the bulls, of course, this supports the thesis that export restrictions could eventually soften, licensing paths as well could improve, or at a minimum, NVIDIA remains directly in the room for the policy discussions, which, let's just be honest about it, Jensen has had a lot of influence about selling these chips, right? The H20 was basically inferior to some of the Chinese alternatives, so there was no point for the Chinese companies to buy them, hence why the H200 came out there, which is basically the second best chip that they have. Better than the H100, the Hopper, the first series Hopper, but not as good as Blackwell, of course. China still matters materially, and for NVIDIA, despite the export controls, any signal of improving access can be an instant market mover for the name. As you know, we've talked about some of the deep value analysts saying, if they realize that China revenue, 20% or even less, that could add $12 to $15 billion in annual revenue there. The risk is straightforward, though. Traders may overprice, I should say, this headline diplomacy without concrete trade deliverables, especially with no concrete orders coming in, Joey's bottom line. Bullish geopolitical optics, but still a sentiment catalyst under policy could turn changeable. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about this story in regards to China, just a back and forth. It's approved. It's not. It's the U.S. regulators. It's the Chinese regulators. Until they get the physical product, we're going to stay. Everything stays the same. So once we hear that Jensen has actually delivered the H200, whatever he's going to be sending over there, then we can really start to assess the situation. As for the stock itself, I've been going on about it, and I'm going to continue to rave. I talk about the rotation out of AMD and then into this name as you climb up to $234 there and change, $236. And I think it's time to shine, and it's going to continue to do so. I understand that there is some competition, but with Jensen Huang, I mean, it's the same narrative. Like we talk about Apple, it's like, okay, what's going on with them? We're always worried about it, but I just feel that there's too much confidence, there's too much cash that these guys have, high margin products, and he just has the ability to invest in his money. It's like with his competitors, it's like, okay, yeah, Marvell custom ASICs. All right, here's a $2 billion investment. Gets his hand in that cookie jar as well, too. So, yeah, I like NVIDIA for the foreseeable future.
Talk about Taiwan Semi. Good look for them today, materially raising their long-term semiconductor TAM outlook, the total addressable market. They expect the global chip market to now exceed $1.5 trillion by 2030. That is versus the prior estimates of $1 trillion. That's a major bullish read-through for the entire semiconductor stack. You're talking about the chip makers. You're talking about the fab designers. You're talking about generators, power suppliers, the entire AI stack. You can read through this. Taiwan Semi, major bottleneck there. Message is, this is not just AI is strong. It's TSM explicitly saying demand visibility is expanding faster than previously expected. Obviously, music to the bull's ears there. The biggest eye catcher kind of in this report was the capacity commentary. So their 2 nanometer /A16 capacity, their CAGR, their compounding annual growth rate, and eye-watering. 70% annually between 26 and 28, with their packaging growth growing at 80% CAGR. These are unbelievable numbers, man. And a lot of this can be read through into Intel as well, because we know a lot of the deals that Intel is catching right now are packaging deals, not exclusively chip deals. So packaging becoming a super important part of this as well. And if you don't know what packaging is, it's basically taking all the different components and putting it onto one chip. So you have the CPU, you have the GPU, you have the RAM, and they fit it all in. That's what they call packaging. Translation for traders. NVIDIA demand isn't an isolated phenomenon for Taiwan Semi. Taiwan is signaling that the entire ecosystem-wide AI compute demand remains extremely strong, with the Arizona expansion also mattering very much, at least from a political sense. U.S. is production scaling faster. Second land purchase complete. We talked about the 2 other fabs that are under construction near the one that already exists in Arizona. One of those, by the way, of the ones that are under construction is specifically for packaging. That's how important it's become. Bottom line, structurally bullish commentary from an arguably the most important semiconductor supply chain company in the world, Joey. Taiwan Semi, are they up? They're up 4 1/3. Are they all-time highs?
Yeah, they touched it today.
All-time highs. A bit of a consolidation area, about 390 to the low side, 420 to the high side. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as NVDA designs the chips, TSM fabricates them. I mean, it's just a trickle-down effect. If it's going to continue to grow, that's why I'm saying if NVDA is holding up the majority of this company's capacity, at some point, they're both going to continue to climb higher and higher, and that's why I believe some analysts believe there's another 40% potential upside here for NVDA, and even another 25-30% of upside here in TSM as it prints. Both of them print all-time highs today. A dividend too on this bad boy.
Are they aristocrats?
No, not quite, man. 94 cents on that bad boy right now.
That's not too bad.
That's not. We'll take it.
All right. Antitrust overhang returns for the good people at Microsoft. The UK's Competition Markets Authority has launched an antitrust probe into Microsoft's dominance, and especially in business software. And specifically, they're examining whether bundling Windows and Office and Teams and Copilot and all that good stuff is weakening competition. The market concern isn't immediate, earnings damage. It's the regulatory overhang that comes with this and the possibility of behavioral remedies if Microsoft gets designated, as we know under that CMA, as a strategic market status company. It also extends beyond the desktop software. The CMA is explicitly flagging cloud competition as well with Azure, where Microsoft's licensing practices have already drawn scrutiny. They've notoriously made it hard for you to migrate over from Azure into AWS or Google Cloud, and that has raised the ire of many different regulators all over the world. They are not the first. Again, this is more headline risk than financial impairment. These investigations kind of move slowly. We know sometimes they take years, if not more. With review expected into February of 2027, the risk to bears, though, this is not a fresh earnings miss or kind of like an operational breakdown. It's mostly sentiment. It's multiple compression possibly if they have to change the way that they operate, rather than a business deterioration story. So the bottom line, Joey, manageable fundamental impact for now, but the regulatory headline can cap the upside while the process plays out. Thoughts?
All right, yeah, that's, I mean, as for Microsoft, this name has been lagging for quite some time. It's only a matter, I think at some point it will decide to play catch up. Azure continuing to grow. It's unfortunate that Copilot is just absolutely garbage, but it's just another, it's just another lawsuit coming from the EU into some of the American hyperscaler companies in the mega cap names. So I think eventually it'll get brushed off. I'm surprised that we're lagging. I'm going to be looking into the forward PE on Microsoft. I know the CapEx spend is heavy, but Azure's still growing at a good rate. Copilot gaining user base, nothing compared to what we're seeing in Anthropic, ChatGPT, and Gemini, but still continuing to grow there. They're in bed with, obviously, Sam Altman and company. So at some point, this name will recover. It's unfortunate that it has been one of the worst performing Mag 7, including this name and Meta.
All right. Man, MP just cannot catch a break. I think somebody's shorting very aggressively. It's so unusual. Let's talk about USAR. They reported earnings, came in at 12 pennies, negative 12 pennies, better than the street expected. They were looking for negative 16, which was a headline beat there. Revenue hit 5.7 million versus a zero estimate. The street was not looking for any money. Showing the first signs of what could be commercial traction for the company. They are down 1%, not much of a move. They did report this, I think, was it yesterday or? Yeah, yesterday after the bell. That said, this remains extremely early stages financially anyway, with revenue being really tiny relative to the valuation of the company, which is $5.469 billion as the current price sits. And profitability, let's be honest about it, is nowhere close. The stock's reaction will likely be driven, though, more by narrative than fundamentals, at least in the short term. Forward expectations do remain weak, with consensus still looking for continued losses and a modest revenue generation into the next quarter. Bottom line, better than feared quarter, but this remains a speculative strategic materials momentum name, not a fundamentals-driven earnings story. To be honest with you, they're faring a lot better than MP, which is down 6% today for absolutely no reason. I can't find one anyway after their earnings report, which was better than expected. So USAR, another minerals, magnets, mining name, Joey, that could have a...
I thought these names would be performing a little bit better. We were talking about with Raheem Alwani not too long ago. Just he was in that conference in Washington, I believe, just talking about the build out, how they're going to get more refineries. But we got to take into consideration like the amount of copper that's going to be needed for this AI build out, all these data centers, and all of those other rares and those metals that are going to be required in order to do so. But I just don't understand why these aren't performing that well. There's a couple analyst upgrades here. Cantor Fitzgerald liking this one, maintaining overweight on it with a price target of $35. It was hot for a little while and then it cooled right down. But I'm surprised that, like the Caterpillars and everything along those lines, that you would see a little bit more participation in this whole AI build-up. We're talking about trickle-down effect. I thought it would start here for sure.
Well said. StubHub up about 20%.
Oh, let me say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember how China just went through that kind of that economic boom and they were just building more condos and apartment buildings. Sand, the price of sand, right? Like you need sand in order to create concrete. Well, if these data centers are going to be constructed from concrete, why isn't sand being a part of this trade here specifically?
Metal,
right?
Are they metal?
Sand?
No, these data centers, aren't they metal frames?
I don't, dude. You gotta pour concrete, man. There's concrete somewhere, right? Like there's framing, but you're still pouring concrete, the floors and everything along those lines. You know what I mean? A lot of it is concrete.
I asked Mateo about that yesterday. He kind of chuckled a little bit.
Concrete play? No, but it's a serious play.
That's a great point. You have a great point there.
It's a serious play.
It's just about choosing the winner there, unless there's a concrete ETF.
Right? Me and my boys back in the day were joking about the sand ETF. I think you could get a sand ETF.
You should champion it, man. I'd be Joey Options, the man with the ETF, like Joe Terranova,
I should get into. Hold on, I'll text Raheem maybe. Like, hey man,
Raheem,
what do you got that sandy?
Start off on the TSX, you work your way up.
All the way up, man.
Let's talk about StubHub though, because they did pretty good here. Joey up 19.15. Clear upside beat on the quarter. EPS coming at 6 pennies. The street was actually looking for a marked loss there. 12 negative pennies there was the anticipated earnings by, or lack thereof, by analysts, and revenue coming in at $446 million, beating the estimates by $21 million, showing materially better execution than expected. With GMS, gross merchandise sales rose 7%. Year over year to $2.2 billion in the adjusted EBITDA, also jumping 50% year over year on the quarter to $72.1 million. Management as well reaffirming the full year guide that they had given previously, which was often exactly what momentum traders want to hear after that beat. Quarter's great. Are you reaffirming your full year guide? Check. The key shift here is profitability, credibility. This is no longer kind of just a speculative consumer internet story, but one that's actually showing the, improving cash generation as well as the operating leverage, which is important, but it is tied to consumer discretionary spending / event spending. So the macro softness here remains an obvious risk, especially if the consumer stops spending or spends less. The bottom line is this is a fundamentally cleaner earnings breakout. It is not just a headline squeeze. And the fact that they didn't give up any of yesterday's move could speak a little bit to that as well, Joe.
Yeah, I'm just reading a little bit more here. Revenue grew up 12% up to $446 million there. The first quarter late Wednesday compared to a loss of 12 cents a share a year ago. Now it's up here, guys. So not too bad of a look within StubHub. We have some Oppenheimer, some analysts saying Oppenheimer and Jade Kelly Oppenheimer's Jade Kelly stating that hits $12 a share relatively soon, so not too bad. And then also the 2026 guide, not horrible whatsoever. Sales of 9.9 billion to 10.1 billion. That's going to beat expectations. And full year, Wall Street was looking at $409 million there, so not too bad. StubHub still getting absolutely beat. This was another IPO last year, I believe it was. Yes, September of 25. That just didn't hold up very well, down 68%. The only one that I can recall, and I'm sure Adara can remember this, that held up and didn't breach the IPO opening price is CoreWeave. So, yeah.
I think it might have broken below the IPO open in like a couple days after it traded. I could be wrong about this, but I know it kind of languished near that level for a bit, and then it did incredibly well. CRWV, but yeah, like I think other than that, a lot of them have just.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
So it languished early, but then it hasn't languished since. All the other ones have languished since.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's talk a little about crypto regulation building up here. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says the Clarity Act is getting close, signaling what could be the most meaningful U.S. crypto regulatory shift in years, if you believe that. The core implication is reduced legal ambiguity around whether digital assets either fall as securities or commodities. They have different regulatory frameworks depending on how they're defined, which is currently, at least anyway, a major institutional overhang. They want clarity before they put in money. Where have we heard that before? It matters because clear rules unlock broader adoption that improves, of course, capital flows into different crypto products. It also strengthens the infrastructure trade around the Bitcoin exposure. So the bigger narrative shift here is crypto is no longer arguing for regulatory avoidance. In fact, it's lobbying for scalable operating rules, which is a much more institutional-friendly setup. Maybe not retail-friendly, but the institutions, they need regulatory clarity, of course, to invest other people's money. Otherwise, most of them are fiduciaries, not all. Bottom line, this is more of a sentiment/policy catalyst than immediate earnings. Of course, there's no earnings on Bitcoin, but regulatory clarity is structurally bullish for the crypto complex. What do you make of this whole thing? Do you think, that regulatory clarity brings more money into the crypto space? Because that's kind of the narrative here, if you believe that narrative.
I think that's something that we've been talking about for quite some time, right? Like, you want more institutional involvement. I don't know how much more we're going to get. Like, we have BlackRock, obviously, with some more clarity behind things. Yeah. You might see a little bit more step in. But I don't know. I think the whole purpose of this specific asset class was just to be decentralized. Right. And it's just getting a little bit more and more centralized as time passes on, right?
Because the money won't flow in unless it is,
right? So
I think it's becoming centralized in the way like a bank's computers.
No, not yet.
It's becoming regulated.
Extremely more regulated, which I mean could be positive, but more regulation within this name hasn't proven less volatility, and I think that's what some people are looking for.
Yeah, your point well taken, though. I think a lot of people did like it because it was kind of like out of the mainstream.
Loop, right?
Yeah. So your point very well taken there. Let's talk about Klarna. Reported earnings as well. KLAR. Let's see what this one, another IPO name. Reported earnings this morning. It was a rocket ship up, then it moved down, and now it's back into about, a little bit more than 3/4 of the way off that low. So they delivered a solid quarter. They beat on both revenue and operating profit. Management's profitability pivot continues to gain credibility here. Post-IPO, revenue did rise 44%. Year over year, up to about $1 billion. Operating income also improved markedly here to $17 million of profit. Compare that to a $90 million loss a year ago. Of course, a meaningful quality shift for a former growth at all costs kind of name, right? You got to make money at some point. Can't keep growing and maintaining losses. The key caveat, though, remains the growth durability. So, for example, their Q2 gross merchandise volume, their GMV guide here is about $35.5 to $36.5 billion. That actually misses by a little bit here, 38.1 billion, pardon me, consensus, suggesting, that there could be some more deceleration beneath the cleaner earnings beat, something to look out for. They are up 15.5% on the day, so the market liking this. Still, The market is kind of focusing here on improved execution as well as the margin discipline that comes with a better EPS. And the stock is responding like, it almost feels like a potential sentiment reset here. Bottom line, Joey, fundamentals improved materially.
Yeah.
But this is only becoming a bigger re-rating story if, though, the growth stabilizes. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
They're going to shore up costs. Are they going to be able to grow in the same way?
Absolutely. Transaction and service revenues increasing 29%, so up to $671 million year over year. So that's pretty good, beating consensus estimates of 4.2%. Income advances 56% to $284 million, and then 18.8% there. Geographic basis, revenues in the United States rose $399 million, up from $238 a year ago. So some positive things, but it's just another name that we are talking about here that's down 72% off of that initial IPO pump. So, I mean, if a lot of these names aren't going to continue to hold up, Cerebras, I think you have to kind of go with that narrative that expecting some and buying the initial IPO isn't always the best thing to do. It did start to form a base. You do have double-digit growth within the company, which is positive, and I think that's something that you have to take note of. $14 or $12 is that low. You're up a little bit off of that level, and then now after that report, you break through some of that resistance zone there.
All right, man. Let's. We're gonna wind down. You can take off if you want, brother. You got to set up and stuff. Another minute and a half or so. Then we'll send you over to the big boys. Neil and Joey going to finish off the show today. Let's go through what happened. Obviously, the big story here: CBRS. We waited right till 1 o'clock. In fact, I think it was 12:59. This one opened up and it rocketed up about 350. That was a theoretical auction price. I think price around the time it opened, I think the high of the day on this one was about 385. We all got caught in that halt. Then all hell broke loose. In fact, it got to 395 off 385, but it was a quick price spike up. Nobody really catching that, and has been a sell the news event, essentially selling this one into 300. Looks like we found a little bit of support here at 300, but it is now down. CBRS, that is 13.5% since opening up at 350. So very much a negative news story, at least for now. We'll have to see how it trades into the coming days and next week as well. There's also been a lot of small cap gappers in focus today. AIIO, we're basically making the move into $10 or thereabouts. This has been a multiple day runner, as you can kind of see. We're coming from south of $1, so I'm assuming this one, as Luis would say, was bid non-compliant, but here we are at $6, having a 920 high in the day. Poet as well. Poet's been looking fantastic for a number of days into $20. We were talking about this one, flat top break. It failed initially, though. Probably pushed a lot of people out, but did find support at 1875, and there it is into the high of the day at 2040, or just about the high of the day. 2065 is the high. Poet in focus, and FRMI was almost a buy it was a buy program. Clean move up, but it did dip down, held 7 nicely, and here it is trying to make 7.5 moves. So FRMI was also another one today, and so was LESL. We had multiple trades on this one into 475. I had a bias that this one was going to hit 5, got pretty close. We were involved in this one from the late 2s, early 3s. So this one was a very good trading day for us today, despite the fact that we weren't able to catch the full move on Cerebras. We ended up getting a little bit there on the move back up, but nothing really doing there. All right, we're a minute over time. Joey's at his desk. Neil is ready. They're going to take you through the afternoon show. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care, guys.